thing on. Yes. Yes. Hello. Hello, everybody. I hope you're ready for the show. Just give me one moment while I prepare everything. Alrighty. Here we go.
In the shadows. Who sent us in to find them?
126 actual. Target is in the main house. You have execute authority.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
Oops, I was late. Hey, everybody, how's it going? I'm glad to be here. Regular Tuesday show. My goodness, making sure everything is working. Nothing is falling apart. We're live on Rumble. Hello, Rumble viewers. Thank you for joining. Green Heart from Rookie. The Cheese Vault. I watched the frogs go up. Then I put my legs behind my ears and said, oh, and laid eggs all over the place. It's pretty great. Thank you for that, Cheese. All right, well, got a lot to talk about tonight. A lot of crazy stuff happening. And yeah, so greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here once again. The 79th episode of the watchfrogs. And I appreciate every single one of you joining as always. Now, before we begin, please be aware I am streaming on dlive, Trovo, Kick, Facebook, Rumble, X, formerly known as Twitter, Twitch.tv, and YouTube. For those who enjoy or prefer the audio-only experience of the show, you can head over to Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else where podcasts exist. Of course, links are in the description, as always. There are also another handful of ways to support the show and keep me independent. Feel free to head over to my Subscribe Star, my Locals page, or toss a generous donation in my Cash App. I'll greatly appreciate it. Goodness, so the first order of business, oh my goodness, what is on screen here? Goodness. Disavow is one of my bookmarks, I think. Yeah, so yeah, women just posting else. So decided that I no longer wanted a baby daddy, but rather a man who's willing to treat me and my baby the way we deserve. Are you up for it? So Anon, are you a bad enough dude to I guess wife up this pregnant woman? I mean, she is cute. She's got the red hair. Oh, never mind. The roots are black. All right, never mind. I take everything I just said back for the streets. Anyways, yeah, we got to talk about election stuff. A lot of election stuff going on in the news tonight. Waiting for everybody to pile in all over Facebook. Let me see. I'm checking on Rumble really quick. Making sure all that's working. Hi, don't be shy, Rumble people. Yes, I was actually able to verify. Apparently, the metrics on Rumble are legitimate. I think that's kind of funny because I was suspicious of the things. All right, so audio levels are good. Nothing has fallen apart. It was a $120 well spent. If this show plus yesterday's show go off without a hitch, again, people come and they watch the show. The least I can do is not fuck it up. So let's just go ahead and just dive right into the news. All right, so the first order of business is not this thing. It's Melania Trump's mother. Unfortunately, she has passed away. She looked pretty damn good for her age. However, we need to read this. Melania Trump writes on Twitter, "It is with deep sadness that I announce the passing of my beloved mother, Amelia. Amelia Naves was a strong woman who always carried herself with grace, warmth, and dignity. She was entirely devoted to her husband, daughters, grandson, and son-in-law. We will miss her beyond measure and continue to honor and love her legacy. Yeah, so this is very unfortunate. The DeSantis bros have been beating up President Trump over the absence of Melania Trump. Melania Trump likely gave President Trump the blessing to continue on with the fight for liberty and justice and freedom for the American people and to help make America great again, while she stays with her mother, stays behind with her family. And that probably would have been the right thing. This is very upsetting. So I'm aching to see how the DeSantis bros are going to respond. Let me see if they're in here. All right, so we got a friend here, Richard Barris, First Lady Laura, the kids, and I will include you and your mother in our prayers tonight. And we're all very sorry for your loss. This is her in the pink, looking very dapper in her age. So all the good people have come out to wish their condolences. Shit, I didn't say anything. Well, here we go. Prayers to your family. Sad face. All right. So, we got to move on though, because there's a lot of stuff I want to get over or get into. January 6th is still in the fucking news. It's only been a few days. So President Trump has made his demands. Release the hostages, Joe. Trump demands Biden release the supporters jailed for January 6th Capitol riot. Yeah, there's a lot of innocent people that are currently locked up. We're going to get a little bit more into that, into some interesting developments regarding January 6th, the hoax. However, politics is, we're right on the edge of beginning like the actual voting portion of the primaries. And there's a lot of people making predictions. Tim Pool, or as I like to call him, Dim Fool, Biden will drop out soon. The reason they waited this long was to be able to bypass the primary and appoint a nominee, avoiding another Bernie situation. Yeah, this is wrong. Tim Pool doesn't know anything. He's not as savvy and as smart as he claims to be. See, Biden, for those who know Joke Biden, who understand politics, again, I've worked for some of the heavy hitters in the Democratic Party. Biden was always in it to win it. He wanted more than anything to be the president of the United States, and finally he was able to get rigged into the office. He got the job through nefarious means. He's not going to go anywhere. And his wife is also just as ambitious as he is. She's going to ensure that he doesn't go anywhere. Why do you think she's so cold and kind of aloof to Kamala Harris or whatever her stupid name is? Let's see, Zombie Bomb. Drones are trying to drill my brain, but my lightning shields inflict DOA attack. Trump congratulates me for destroying Biden's evil army of robot socialist republics. Replicas is probably what you were trying to say. The Cold War ends. Putin steals my accomplishments and makes like it was a cause of him. Zombie Bomb. I can't read this, dude. I'm gonna get a stroke reading what you're saying. We need more coherency. But yeah, I just thought this dim fool prediction was interesting to say the least. Don't mess with my mush mouth. I'm the mightiest sorcerer of the lands. Or it's not mush mouth. It's like fat fingers or something. All right. Yeah. So election denialism. It's a thing. As a former Democrat, there's a history of Democrats denying elections. So January 7th, what year was this posted? Of 2024. Election denial is a sickness that is poisoning our legacy. Viva Fry, he posts some receipts from 2019, September 26, 2019. Hillary Clinton, Trump is an illegitimate president. Okay. Well, she's been denying the 2016 election since it ended. Hillary Clinton in 2002, George W. Bush was selected, not elected. That was, wow. Okay. Yeah. Again, there's a history of this stuff. Secretary, White House, press secretary called out for saying Trump stole 2016 election. So those claims are all unfounded. None of them are substantiated in any meaningful way. Yet they insist that individuals such as myself, former election officials, former election specialists, we're a sickness on this country. We're out of line for accurately pointing out that things are bullshit. Things are bullshit. All right, what are you writing, Zombie Bomb? I will box you like Helena. Was that a reference to My Chemical Romance? I don't know what you mean by that, Zombie Bomb. I feel like I need to be offended though. All right, we need to move on. What else do we got here? Whoop. All right, so great news. Interactive Polls reports Republican Tammy Mulchi has won the special election for Virginia's 9th Senate District. And this is a very Trumpy district. It was a plus 16% to Trump in 2020. Very interesting. Again, the Virginia Republicans ended up getting their asses kicked just last December. For the most part, the political machines in Virginia have abandoned President Trump. They wanted nothing to do with him. They were distancing themselves from him and just going their own way, which is fine. President Trump stayed out of the election. He stayed in his own lane. He respected their wishes, and they got completely destroyed. And rightfully so. Again, the less conservatives, the better. But Tammy Mulchi, she ends up stumping in a pro 16 point Trump district, and she won quite convincingly. We also have another example of this, I believe. Eric Phillips, again, a Trump district, a plus 24 Trump district. He won very convincingly. These are special elections, by the way. We are seeing a massive shift. I mean, it is a brand new year, new year, new ways of thinking, new feelings, all that. And I think a lot of people are going to be abandoning the Democratic Party. I think no one has an appetite for the violence that is going on in the Middle East, in Eastern Europe. People are sick of the violence in our streets. However, they're all eerily quiet, except on the internet. On the internet, we're making a lot of noise. And I do believe it's making an impact. When I talk about stuff like this, people are also talking about it when I go out. Like, I am hearing people talk about some of the more general issues that I bring up. And I think that's a good thing. And I always impress upon everybody, don't be shy. Talk about these issues. Talk about what is happening in the world. Talk about how you're feeling about the direction of the country or the future of the country or of the world, really. Let's see. Not okay for a full-grown man to think My Chemical Romance before the Misfits. Fuck, Dorkster, you got me. I was never a Misfits guy, though. I never really liked the Misfits. I grew up listening to My Chemical Romance. I was an emo kid in middle school and high school. And I mean, that's just how it is. Okay, so we got rainbow flags in the chat. Okay, the chat. There's mutiny in the chat. My goodness. It's not what I wanted to see on a Tuesday night. All right, well, the show goes on. All right, so Dean Phillips, I believe this is a presidential candidate, a complete unknown. Dean Phillips says Biden likely to lose the 2024 election. Let's hear him out. New Hampshire, Manchester, New Hampshire, January 9th. Congressman Dean Phillips, a wealthy Democrat from Minnesota who is running for president in 2024, is betting it all on New Hampshire's Democratic primary on January 23rd, where incumbent Joe Biden will not officially be on the ballot. Wait, what? Where incumbent Joe Biden will not be officially on the ballot? Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right at all. Phillips, 54, shelled a potential fourth term in Congress for a self-funded challenge to Biden, 81 years old. He lags far behind in the national and New Hampshire polls. Yeah, so New Hampshire's probably not even going to bother with the primary. It's pointless for the Democrats to have a primary. I know a lot of people don't really like that way of thinking, but it just does not make sense for Democrats or even the Republicans to hold primaries. Trump is the front runner. Biden is the front runner. Biden does not want to give up. He will not give up. This is all he's ever wanted his entire life. And of course, he's really bad at it because he's bad at everything. The only thing he's good at is getting on his knees and sucking the cock of his donors. Biden is skipping the New Hampshire primary after the Republican-run state refused his demand to give up its first-in-nation primary spot to South Carolina, but Biden supporters are mounting a ride-in campaign to avoid an embarrassing loss. Okay, so Dean Phillips is doing some interesting things here, so we'll see how that plays out. All right, so New Hampshire, I was going to keep my eye on New Hampshire because I think Nikki Haley might clinch it. It's more possible that happens than, DeSantis getting in second or whatever. Trump is likely to win New Hampshire, but it's also possible Nikki Haley clinches it somehow miraculously if there's shenanigans. But now I'm going to be watching the Democratic primary a little bit more closely, even though, I've tapped out of Democrat politics for a very long time now. It's been, since 2016, really. Phillips in his campaign declined to say how much of the voters he hopes to capture in New Hampshire. Reuters sat down with him at his campaign headquarters in Manchester this week. Yeah, so if there's a massive writing campaign and Biden wins, what does that mean? I'm not entirely sure. Because the laws don't really matter now in 2024. I mean, we got these clerks in government, you got these judges just doing whatever the heck they want. That's a problem. That's a big problem. You are a 3-term congressman and were considered a rising star in the Democratic Party. Why risk all of that with a long shot presidential bid. I know it's counterintuitive, and it's certainly unusual for a member of Congress to torpedo their career knowingly, but I'll tell you that I had a couple of epiphanies. One was in 2016. I had a wonderful life in Minnesota running a business, and my daughters were in tears the morning after Donald Trump was elected. Eat a bag of dicks, Dean Phillips, you and your stupid family. And it jarred me. I promised them I would do something. It was not about my career. It was about public service, and I did it. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, I'd prefer Biden over this horse shit, that's for sure. Then I went to Vietnam for the first time in late March, and I got to go to the site where my dad was killed, and it really affected me. The fact that he died serving in an unnecessary war, and I thought to myself, he literally gave his life for us, and here I am serving in Congress. The least I can do is what I think is necessary, and that is not to be quiet and not just to get in line. That's what happened during the Vietnam War. Everyone got quiet and got in line, and look what it got us. I wish there were more people in Congress willing to torpedo their career and pursue a principle rather than self-preservation. What do you say to critics who say your run damages Biden's chances against Trump? President Biden is a man I respected, but is not a viable candidate, and it is not an attack from Dean Phillips, who is right now positioned as a meaningless candidate in this race. I'm not the one that's done this to him. I'm pointing out the truth, and anybody who's willing to pay attention will recognize it. Okay, so I think you guys get the point. This guy sucks. His family sucks, but he makes some interesting points, and I think his motivation for getting into this race is totally reasonable. I mean, this would have been a normal Democrat 20 years ago. Anti-war. People died senselessly. We need to stop that. We need to stand up to people like Joe Biden. However, he's still kind of throwing a little bit of rope, giving up a little bit of ground to the Never Trumpers, to the cucks, to the soy boys, etc., by saying that his family was in tears when President Trump won. And by the way, I do literally believe that. I genuinely believe that is true. Again, when I was working for the government, it was early in the morning after the election. People were coming and crying, and it was the funniest shit, dude. It will always not be funny, or it'll just always be funny. I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, Dean Phillips coming in hot, making a case for why he should be the nominee, and I'll be keeping an extra eye on New Hampshire, especially the Democratic primary. That's actually really, really fucking interesting. But I think Biden will get the mail-in votes. But what happens to those votes is anybody's guess. All right, so we talked briefly about January 6th. What is the most disturbing thing you saw on TV? Now, I thought about this, and nothing really came to mind. Nothing came to mind for me in regards to, like, what's the most disturbing thing I've seen on TV. I honestly don't know. Honestly, I don't really know. Like, I'm just kind of like a messed up dude. Just most things don't faze me. Most things don't scare me or anything like that. So, I don't know. I'd have to think hard about it. Well, people are answering it. This is Reddit Lies, a great account to follow. Always keeping us up to date with the libtard insanity. So this user writes, J6, I absolutely am not kidding, and I absolutely believe you. Most Redditors are frail and weak and pathetic, and I just imagine if I was in a room full of Redditors, I'm like, yo, what's the most disturbing thing you saw on TV? I would hope I would expect like 75 to 80% of them to be like January 6th. It was awful. Woo. Anyways, obvious programmer 46. I'm 46 and I saw the Challenger explosion live on TV as a child. Okay, so this guy literally witnessed people dying as a tiny child. 9/11 and nursed my youngest son watching the military roll into Iraq during the Iraqi Freedom under night vision. Okay, so all right, so this guy watched 3,000 innocent Americans burn up in flames. Very disturbing. And then watching the U.S. military invade a sovereign nation under false pretenses. January 6th is still the most shocking thing I've ever seen live. I literally could not believe it. I called my sons and told them to turn on the TV because this was history being made, but not in a good way. What a fucking F-slur. Oh my goodness. What a fucking pussy. Dude, if I'm like playing video games, I'm playing fucking Party Animals, I'm playing Counter-Strike, maybe I'm playing some Tarkov Arena with the fellas, and then my dad comes in the room, he's like, son, listen to me. You gotta turn on TV, some crazy shit's happening, this is history. I grabbed the remote. I'm like, oh, well, what is this? And it's just like a bunch of old boomers like meandering around the Capitol. I would call my dad. I would just slur. It would be fucking awesome. And it would be necessary. I would start lying to people on the internet. When everyone's trading stories about their families, but like, yeah, I don't have a father. He stepped out on us. He died in the war. I'd make up some lie. I don't have a dad. Because I'd be so embarrassed. So fucking embarrassed. If my dad was like, you got to see this, man. Listen, son. Listen, boy. Look what they're doing. They're going to take over the country. Dude, they're all like in wheelchairs and shit. You know, they're a bunch of fucking boomers. Like, they're harmless. They're retirees. What are you talking about? They're all unarmed. They're like hanging out with the cops, the DC pigs. Yeah, so this is the average Redditor, you guys. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable that there are people are saying this unironically, but we got more J6 stuff to get into. Nothing too crazy. Ron DeSantis still on the campaign trail, stinking it up. Johnny MAGA. I like Johnny. I don't mind Johnny. Oh my God, DeSantis just said the J6 defendants didn't display patriotism by protesting the 2020 election. He's done with MAGA. He sure is. All right, let's watch.
Patriotism. Did the January 6th patriotism? Did the January 6th insurrectionists display patriotism as some of them claim they did?
No, of course not. I mean, that was not a good day for the country. I think the media has taken that, and I think the left has taken that and really tried to politicize it, but it was not a good day for the country. You know, patriotism...
It wasn't a good day because of what those protesters did. It wasn't a good day because innocent, law-abiding Americans were exercising the constitutional right. It wasn't a good day because Congress was interrupted in the process of throwing out this phony baloney election. They were disrupted. If the protesters were well behaved, they were just outside singing and praying and not doing anything at all, they weren't engaging with the DC pigs. The fake pipe bomb that was planted by the feds, in my opinion, allegedly, that would have had the building evacuated. That would have disrupted the process of basically throwing out that election. That would have deterred our elected officials from going over the evidence, going over the information, going over the discrepancies, and saying the state legislature needs to decide this. Local state legislatures, sovereign states need to decide the election because we can't certify this in good faith because of all the glaring issues that exist in the swing states, exclusively the swing states. Funny how all these voting irregularities only happen in the very consequential states, but whatever. Yeah, just be mindful of that, you guys. Yeah, fuck DeSantis. Yeah, those people are patriots, and they're fucking paying for it. And we need to bail our brothers and sisters out, like, ASAP. Now, on another note, January 6th, Ray Epps, in my opinion, in a video game, he's likely an agent of the federal government, an acolyte of the permanent government, a shill, if you will. Ray Epps falsely accused as federal agent in January 6th. No, it's not falsely accused. Go fuck yourselves. Conspiracies. There's no conspiracies here. Gets probation, Capitol riot. This is a man who called for violence and antagonism on January 6th. He breached those little zones you're not allowed to breach. What's his name? Brandon Straka. That guy did jail time. That guy lost tens of thousands of dollars defending himself in court. That guy was brutalized for months by the permanent government. Ray Epps got to go golfing, and he never saw a day in jail, even though he's on video calling for violence, calling for illegality. Basically, what President Trump was falsely accused of, Ray Epps literally did. He literally did the things that they falsely accused Trump of doing. He was literally telling people to go to the Capitol and to go inside and start shit. Verbatim. On video. How those videos exist is beyond me. It's a fucking miracle those videos exist. U.S. District Judge James Boasberg Sentence him to 12 months of probation and a $500 restitution. It's because he's one of the boys. This is a sentence that you would hand down to somebody who is a collaborator, somebody who collaborates with the federal government. The $500, that's just an insult. That's for me and you. The $500 sends the message. The 12 months probation, that's a thank you to Ray Epps. Your problems are over now. You're a convicted criminal, but it doesn't matter. Funny how all that works. Oh, we already went over this. Apologize. All right, we went over the Epstein stuff. I'm going to breeze through this really quickly. All right, so some of the A-listers named in the newly unsealed documents. Prince Andrew, that's an obvious one. Bill and Hillary Clinton, obvious ones. I mean, the Bill Clinton stuff, it's just it's old news. President Trump was also featured in the docs. Of course, he was exonerated. I went over that yesterday. Right now, a woman is claiming that sex tapes exist of President Trump with women. And of course, I asked the question, were they sex trafficking victims? Were they minors? You know, what's the deal here? Of course, none of those questions are answered. And of course, embedded in this article and also another article from the New Yorker where Sarah Razmone literally admits that she fabricated the claims against President Trump. Who else do we have on this list? Alan Dershowitz. I think he was kind of exonerated. Also, I wouldn't even joke about Alan Dershowitz being on the island or doing anything illegal because he'll fucking find you and sue you. He's an old school Brooklyn guy. He'll chase you down and fucking hit you in the face and shit if you start stuff. Stephen Hawking, dude, I got into an argument with people because they're like, "Oh, I can't believe you're crazy schizo." I'm like, dude, all these fucking scientists, bros, all these NASA fuckboys, dude, they're all PDF files, in a video game, allegedly, according to my opinion. These claims are not substantiated, by the way, but yeah, these scientists, bros, they're all PDF files. They're all cucks. They're all bitches. Stephen Hawking, Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, Daniel Dennett. Steven Pinker and just all the others, all of them, all a bunch of bitches. And yeah, I mean, apparently there's videos of these dudes. Al Gore, let's see, his wife Tipper Gore. I wonder what they would ask about Al Gore and Tipper Gore. Well, Al Gore, I've heard some rumors. Rumors about Al Gore, but we'll see. Leslie Wexner, Sarah Ferguson. Yeah, so I don't know what they would ask about Tipper Gore. She's kind of straight-laced. Chelsea Clinton. Ugh. Bill Richardson, former Democratic governor. He was on there. Yeah, that guy's definitely a PDF file for sure, in my opinion, allegedly. Jean-Luc Brunel. That one's pretty obvious. Oh, no, Michael Jackson. Claimed to have met pop icon Michael Jackson at Epstein's Palm Beach home. She denied ever massaging Jackson, who died in 2009 at the age of 50. Oh, man. He died at 50? All right, David Copperfield. This is actually pretty sad because I was an ex-magician. I like magicians. I don't think David did anything wrong. I mean, he was just there to perform tricks. He was there to entertain the the rich bitches. Tom Pritzker claimed to have had sex once with Hyatt Hotel chain hired Tom Pritzker. A spokesperson for Pritzker, who is worth an estimated $6.2 billion on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, said he continues to vehemently deny the allegation. Yeah, the Pritzker family, those people are insanely connected. They're very, very connected. Very, very rich people. The Pritzker family is responsible for getting Obama into the White House. Obama was groomed for that position. Just for whatever reason, they're like, this is the guy. And I mean, that's a whole different story. Glenn Dublin. Yeah, so let's see. Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker's an old one. That's old news. Kevin Spacey, that's old news as well. Which is kind of a shame. Like, look, I don't care if Kevin Spacey's evil. He's just so talented and he's so great. But fuck, man. George Lucas, Star Wars creator George Lucas, was mentioned once in the new documents when I guess one of the victims denied meeting the film titan in Epstein's circle. All right, so I guess he was exonerated. Dude, they're just going through a list of these celebrities, it seems, when they were being questioned. Naomi Campbell, that's an old one. Leonardo DiCaprio, that's an old one. He's been on there. Kate Blanchett, Cameron Diaz, and Bruce Willis. As part of her deposition, the victim was asked about press reports that she'd met certain Hollywood stars, including Kate Blanchett and Leonardo DiCaprio, during her time. The Pope, while under questioning about possible nude photos at Epstein's Palm Beach, I think this was supposed to be mansion. Joanna, the victim, recalled there being snapshots everywhere, including one of Maxwell with the Pope. While the victim did not specify when the photo may have been taken or which Pope Maxwell was photographed with, witnesses previously recalled seeing a photo at Epstein's Florida mansion of him with Pope John Paul II. Yikes! It's gonna be a yikes from me. All right, so this is the one that I went over yesterday. So this just dropped yesterday. Epstein accuser claims PDF file had sex tapes of Trump, Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson. Of course, the tapes were fabricated by Sarah Ransom. These claims are not substantiated. And again, if she's telling the truth, just publish the documents, publish the video. FBI has it. Why aren't they publishing it? All right, so let's get into the more meatier stuff. So this just happened. This is just breaking news. New York high school students forced into remote learning as 2,000 illegal immigrants sheltered in school instead. Wow. Unbelievable. We got a video here. Let's just listen.
Correspondent CB Cotton reports from New York. Good evening, CB.
Good evening, Brett. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says he has not gotten any FaceTime with President Joe Biden about the migrant crisis since early last year. Now Adams and other sanctuary city mayors are forming a coalition pleading for financial and legislative assistance.
As temperatures drop in New York City, Chicago, Denver, and other impacted cities, we are calling for the federal declaration of emergency, financial support, and a national resettlement strategy.
Today, the Democratic mayors of
How about a national deportation strategy? You bag of shit.
New York, Chicago, and Denver held a virtual meeting to discuss how they're trying to handle the influx of thousands of migrants as record numbers cross the southern border and head for their cities. Nearly 200 migrants arrived to the Big Apple Tuesday night from Texas after their flight to New York's JFK Airport was diverted to Philadelphia due to inclement weather. A spokesperson for the mayor's office calling it inhumane and saying Texas Governor Greg Abbott is treating humans like political pawns. Mayor Adams announced new guidelines and stricter penalties today for those bringing the busloads of migrants. Over in Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson is using the same tactic to slow the flow for what he calls, quote, rogue bus operators. The state is also paying.
All right. The schools. Let's focus on the schools really quick. So nearly 2,000 migrants being sheltered in a tent shelter in New York City are being transferred to a nearby high school where the students will have to pivot to remote learning due to the disruption it is causing, sparking outrage from the residents and local politicians. Dude, you have parents who have to completely, they're upending the lives of these parents who have to deal with kids, deal with, work and doing this juggling act because, both parents have to work realistically in 2024 because the economy is so fucked. New York City Mayor Eric Adams' office said it is moving 1,900 migrants from the tent shelter at Floyd Bennett Field for safety reasons due to the incoming storms and potential high winds, according to the New York Daily News. Adams told reporters that it is being done out of an overabundance of caution. We want to make sure people are safe, he said, but it is controversially moving them to James Madison High School. Oh, God. James Madison is rolling in his grave, which confirmed it was being used as a temporary overnight respite center and would be closed as a result on Wednesday, with students being forced to pivot to remote learning as a result. How long is this going to go on for? I mean, once the government does something, it tends to become permanent. Is this going to be the future of education in the United States, where these illegal alien criminals just flood the country and they need to be housed somewhere? And they end up in these fucking schools, and the kids get kicked out. In a statement, Republican Councilwoman, blah, 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 I don't know how to pronounce that name, called the move unacceptable, arguing that Floyd Bennett Field is not a sustainable housing facility. Our public schools are meant to be places of learning and growth for our children, and were never intended to be shelters or facilities for emergency housing. Just be like, yeah, for illegal aliens, she said. New York City Comptroller Brad Lander, a Democrat, said that placing migrants, illegal aliens, I apologize, at the Floyd Bennett Field highlights the mismanagement and waste of money that is all too present in City Hall's approach to shelter and services for illegal aliens. The New York Post reported how the move has infuriated parents and students at the school, with one woman screaming at buses as they arrive. How does it feel that you kicked all the kids out of school tomorrow? They don't feel anything, lady. They don't give a fuck about you or your stupid kids, because you dumb shits keep voting for fucking Democrats. You voted for your replacements. You voted for your children to compete with illegal aliens in the classroom setting when they're 18 and they go off into the real world, to compete with illegal aliens when they apply for college. Lady, you did this. All of these people are responsible for this. I know some of the more rational voices, so-called rational voices in in this space will say, oh, well, they didn't vote for this. Oh, you're just rubbing it in the face. Yeah, I'm going to rub it in their face. And yes, they did fucking vote for this. People like myself have been screaming at the top of our lungs. They're going to replace us. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. They waste too many resources, blah, 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 blah. And they act surprised when it fucking happens. Adams' office told the outlet that the move is a proactive measure to ensure the safety of the individuals both living and working at the migrant facility, and will continue until the weather conditions that may arise as stabilizing the facility is once again for living. Adams' office has said that over 160,000 migrants have surged into the sanctuary city since the middle of 2022. Dude, 160,000 people, illegal aliens, since 2022, just chilling, roaming around New York. Oh, man. Some of whom have been bused indirectly by Texas officials have said the city is overwhelmed, with Adams warning the crisis could destroy the city. And rightfully so. It probably deserves to get destroyed. Start over again. Kick these fucking people out. Do you guys remember what happened? I know it was 3 years ago, but when they did the distance learning, all this bullshit remote learning nonsense, kids literally disappeared. Education achievement dropped significantly. All kinds of behavioral problems. Children were traumatized by the experience. And they're doing it again. They're doing it again to these kids. And it's because these fucking invaders, and that's what they are. So I'm using Democrat logic right now. Democrats say Trump is a racist who said those countries are shitholes. And then they corrected him by saying that they're not. Granted, they're not shitholes. They're not starving. There's not a war going on in Latin America or Africa. So they're not shitholes. There's nothing bad going on there. And all the people coming over, invading the country, they're all fucking fat and overweight. Why are they seeking asylum here? We are foregoing our responsibility. Well, not we. They are foregoing the responsibility to these children. They're foregoing the responsibility to the most vulnerable members of the society for these fucking criminals. And yes, I consider them criminals in my opinion. They're not asylum seekers by any means necessary, especially if they come from the Middle East or Africa. Let's just pretend that some random country in Africa is like embroiled in some conflict or whatever. Something bad is happening. There's like a million other places you can go. Africa is a really, really big place. They don't need to fucking be here. This asylum system is bullshit. They all should be deported. Anchor babies too. All of them. Just I don't have the stomach or patience for this anymore. And a lot of other people don't either. And unfortunately, them being made uncomfortable is 100% necessary for us to move forward as a country and speak honestly about preserving our rights, preserving our heritage, preserving our culture, preserving our fucking language. You know how annoying it is when I try to call like a company and it's like something so simple, but I'm interrupted because I had to press a button for Spanish or English because there's so many people in this country that don't even fucking speak English anymore. If someone doesn't speak English, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. I just fucking walk away. I just have no fucking patience for it, you guys. And the children are suffering as a result of it. They're literally being kicked out of schools. People's lives are just completely interrupted by this nonsense. And again, those countries are not shitholes. I am agreeing with the libtards. They are not shitholes. Those illegal aliens don't need to be here. Hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. There's more on the illegal alien shit. Alex Jones had a debate with the most useless people imaginable. Dude, you guys can call me up. I'm actually a fucking expert on elections. I'd be able to easily I could take on the Krasenstein brothers and Destiny with one fucking hand tied behind my back in a debate about election integrity. So, which is exactly why Team Krasenstein lost this debate. Hold up. Yeah, Rookie writes, I find it insulting when a machine starts saying Mexican words at me like I'm an animal. Yeah, I know. I expect to hear the fucking Macarena as soon as like, I'm like, what the whoa, dude, we lost the fucking war. Dude, like if the founding fathers were like cloned or they were like resurrected, they're like, oh, dude, let me call someone up. Let me use a phone. And they're like, oh my God, that was the fucking president? You know, looking at a picture of Obama. It's like, oh my God, that's our fucking border? And they're like, oh shit. You know, look, I'll say this. Like this asylum crisis, I'll just say this. I would rather the people coming over be like actual like Latin Americans, but now we're getting people from fucking countries I don't even know existed. From fucking Middle East and Africa and just, you know, just it's fucking insane. There are South Africans coming here, and I completely endorse that. Gio's upset there is Spanish captions in American movies. No, AC. I actually, first off, my favorite horror movies, there's two of them, Rec and Rec 2. They're Spanish. I love them. Also, Tropa de Elite, which is Brazilian, loved it. Fantastic. Look, I don't mind it, but the country's being fucking destroyed, man. And again, I would rather it be fucking just Spanish people. Oh, AC, I know you're fucking with me. By the way, dude, thank you so much for the for the donation. I don't know if you were here last night, but yeah. Nah, dude, it's getting out of hand, man. But now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, election. The Krasenstein bros. These fucktards. They were in a debate and they just got. Well, let's just watch.
What Alex does is he pushes these conspiracy theories, these ideas that illegal aliens were voting. There's no evidence of that.
Yeah, there's plenty of evidence of that, actually.
I think the illegal alien voting thing is what's happening is they're coming in and then they're being counted in the census, which then adds more electoral votes.
Okay.
It gives more congressional districts.
That's fair. That might be happening. I haven't researched
There are indictments all over the country.
I haven't researched. Yeah, I know you didn't research it because you're a dumb bitch. You're not a professional at anything except for grifting and taking money from innocent people. Fuck the Krasenstein brothers.
They're not.
There are indictments of illegals everywhere voting. Got them again. Hit them hard. Hit them hard.
They're not voting.
They're not
Alex,
voting.
that's a conspiracy theory.
Two people.
Oh, no, a bunch of cities have passed laws where illegal aliens can vote.
No, they haven't.
No,
not in the federal election.
No, but
they're not in the federal. You hear that fruitcake? Listen to that. We're gonna get to that in a second.
No,
not in the federal election.
No, but the illegals are voting in elections though.
Not in the federal ones. So I know that some cities try to have them voting in like local matters. I don't know how many of those are successful.
Illegal aliens shouldn't be voting, okay? But they're not. They're not voting in federal elections.
I don't know why you would care. Though. Why would you even care?
Conspiracy
I don't know
theory,
why
Alex.
you would care about.
There are going to be 100 million views of you guys. X is going to eat you guys alive.
I'm glad.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to. All right, hold on. We got AC in the chat. 1 in every 1,000 immigrants brings us a big booty Latina. I'm all for it as long as I get my big booty Latina. Look, dude, if the illegal aliens storming the border look like Jennifer Lopez, Eva Mendes, look, I'd say, you know what? Just keep the door open, just only wide enough for them to get in. But as soon as like the fat bitches come or like the Danny Trejo looking motherfuckers, whoop, just shut that shit. We don't need them. But dude, if it was like a bunch of sexy ladies, like, you know, coming across the border, you know, looking for like a high value man or something. Oh, dude, libtard women, Democrat women, suburban women. Oh, they'd be like, oh, dude, Trump, dude, be going to vote fucking wearing Nazi bands, dude. It'd be so fucking racist. By the way, if you if you want to hear like genuine racism, the cartoonish version of a racist in the US is like, you know, some like cousin fucking redneck, but it's actually people who are like intellectuals and, you know, they're very knowledgeable, they're college educated. And there's a lot of them on the left, man. There's a lot of them on the left. And I know for a fact if the illegal aliens coming across the border, again, looked like Jennifer Lopez or something, oh, dude, they'd be so fucking furious. They'd be so mad. But back to this. All right, remember what that fruitcake said. They're not voting in federal elections. Interesting. What do we got here? Yes, this is from my friend in Arizona yesterday. Proof of citizenship requirement. To be eligible to vote a full ballot, you must submit proof of citizenship with your registration form by 5 p.m. on Thursday before Election Day. Well, that's kind of cutting it close. There's no time to verify any of this information. What if it's fake? But whatever. A full ballot includes all federal, state, and county and local races and ballot questions for which you are eligible to vote. If you do not submit proof of citizenship, and we cannot acquire your proof of citizenship from the Arizona Motor Vehicle Division or the statewide voter registration database, you will receive a federal-only ballot, which only has federal races and no state, county, or local races or initiatives / referendums. Why the fuck are illegal aliens even getting a ballot to begin with? And again, this is what I've been saying for years. At least on here, over a year. Because I've been streaming for literally a year now. Or slightly over one. But for years, though, talking about election integrity, understanding how elections work, understanding just how government works in general and what it's up to. The Department of Motor Vehicles, or DMVs, as most of you know, they register people to vote automatically in some states. That's a fucking problem. I don't believe in automatic registration. That's bullshit. And if you remember, some states are allowing illegal aliens to get a driver's license, to get an ID. And no questions asked. They're not going to report you to ICE or whatever. So when those guys and girls, those fat illegals, when they go and they register, or not, when they go to get their ID or their driver's license, they are literally being registered to vote. And a mail-in ballot is being sent to their home. And they are voting. I know this to be a fact. I've seen it with my own eyes. There's no denying this. And they want to prove me wrong. Produce the fucking ballots. Let's go over the signatures. Let's recanvass those ballots. Let's verify the information on the voter. Let's make sure that they're actual legitimate voter and that they have all the necessary information to have to be able to cast a legitimate ballot that counts. They don't want us to see the ballots, you guys. They don't want us to see anything. They want us to take them at their word. And I don't believe that. Because I am a skeptic, which is something that we talked about in great length yesterday. I believe in tangible, concrete evidence. They say that there's no evidence of President Trump's, being rigged out of office. I don't think there's evidence that Joe Biden won the election. I have yet to see the ballots in Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Nevada, but we saw them in Arizona. They did a meaningful audit. Well, not a meaningful audit, but they did a decent enough audit. And we found that they were passing off votes, casting the vote towards Biden that did not have a legitimate signature. It just had a stamp that said approved on it. So clerks in government were looking at all of these ballots, they were approving them, and they were counting towards the candidate who, in my opinion, did not win. And that was only out of a sample of like 25,000, just a small sample of 25,000. And there were enough fraudulent votes to overturn the Arizona results of 2020. So don't fucking tell me that these people aren't voting, because I know that they are. I know how this works better than any of those three morons on that stage. Oh, I want to get real high and look through a bunch of ballots. That sounds fun. Well, I have a financial background. My specific focus in university was finance, and I did auditing. I am an auditor. I was an investigator. That's what I'm good at. That I could go through those ballots very quickly and find discrepancies immediately, and a lot of people would too. It's actually kind of therapeutic. It's kind of like solving a puzzle, or you're solving a crime. In this instance, it literally would be solving a crime. People were voting fraudulently in that election. Yeah, balance sheets are fun too. They can be. Acid tests are my favorite. Whoa. None of that. All right. Well, again, I'll be keeping an eye on a lot of this election stuff as we move forward into the heart of the primary season. Again, caucuses are all done in person, and it's very verbal. It's it's centered around human beings, so hopefully nothing crazy happens. All right, well, let's move on to some international stuff. The West could soon hand Putin the keys to Europe. And to that I say based, unbelievably based. Oh my God, I gotta pay to continue reading this article. Well, I guess we're just gonna read that. Let me see. There's a palpable difference along the Ukrainian front this January compared with this time last year. I'm not gonna pay to read this. All right, guys. Well, the show goes on. Whoop. All right. So, U.S. top diplomats urges Israel to make hard choices with Palestinians. Oh, the business asset test, comparing one company to the whole industry. It's on. Oh, okay. I was wondering what you were talking. I was like, asset test. What? All right. So yeah, this is actually quite important, but I'm not going to go too much into this article because I think, again, most of this stuff is kind of boring to me. But the activists, the pro-Palestine activists, the pro-Hamas activists, they're very, very vocal about calling for a ceasefire. Now, I'm one to think that words matter and ideas matter. And also what someone doesn't say matters as well. The pro-Palestinian, the pro-Hamas people would say, we need a ceasefire. Genocide Joe needs a call for a ceasefire. They need to, the U.S. government should demand a ceasefire. But you never hear them wanting or demanding for peace in the Middle East. I wonder why that is. It's just something to think about. I don't know. It could be meaningless. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, this is a stupid name, Antony Blinken, urged Israel on Tuesday to make hard choices to normalize relations with more of its neighbors, a new appeal to smooth the path to creating a Palestinian state. Yeah, wasn't there a guy with orange skin who literally negotiated this until he was rigged out of office? Blinken, in his fourth visit to the Middle East since the war erupted in October, also urged Israel to support Palestinian leaders willing to live peacefully alongside Israelis and warned the daily toll in its war with Hamas in Gaza was far too high. Yeah, the response was certainly disproportional, at least on the surface. That's what it looks like. Again, I don't really care. But I do want peace in the Middle East because I'm not a bastard and I don't like or support or promote violence of any sort. And also, a destabilized Middle East means more of these fuckers are going to come into my country, and that just does not sit well with me. Also, Europe is being fucking graped, and just no more of this. No more. Yeah, fuck Israel. Yeah, stop your shit and make peace with these people. Figure it out. Israelis are smart. Figure it out. It was also vital that Israel achieve its objective of eradicating the threat from Hamas, he said at the end of a day of talks in Tel Aviv. This followed his tour of Israel's Arab neighbors to discuss plans for the future governance of Gaza and integration in the Middle East. This language here does not sit well with me. Like, imagine you're being brutalized by a superior military power. You're being just relentlessly bombed and all this horrible stuff. And then other people are talking about your future, your fate, without your saying it. Like shit like this makes me sympathetic towards like regular Palestinians who aren't a part of the Hamas government or whatever. They're part of that militancy group or insurgency group. Even as he spoke, intense fighting gripped south and central parts of Gaza. Israeli forces and Hezbollah militants also exchanged fire on the Lebanon-Israel border. So it seems like guns are being fired in every direction. International concern has mounted over the huge Palestinian death toll from the Israeli assault on the densely populated enclave and the humanitarian crisis afflicting hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah, that's all unfortunate, but it's only going to get worse because they're gonna start importing them into the U.S. They're going to start importing them into France and Germany, Ireland. Like, this is not good, you guys. None of this is good. Again, just why are the liberals only calling for a ceasefire, not calling for peace? I mean, these diplomats are, but that's not what these activists are calling for. Let's see. No, the business assets has company. I just found 50K. What the F? What do you mean you found 50K? 50K of what? All right. Enough of that. Let's get into a little bit of finance news. Global economy on track for the worst half decade of growth in 30 years, says the World Bank. Oh my God, this article was not locked. Well, the Financial Times lied to me. Initial U.S. employment reports overstated by 439,000 jobs in 2023. So I was one of the few people who was accurately calling out the Joe Biden administration, just being honest about the economy, and that we've been in a recession for a very long time, and that the job numbers just don't make any sense. This is my second horrific recession that I've lived through. The first one being in 2008 when I was a teen, and we were the people were like a lot of liars, just more like normie cons, more like Democrats and stuff. The far left liberals, they don't really count in this regard, but they would lie about Obama's economic performance, and say, oh, dude, the jobs were surging, oh, the economy was great, oh, he did all these wonderful things. I'm like, dude, I remember the economy very, very well in 2008, in 2009, in 2010, 2011, and it was just god awful. Hold on one second. I think someone's knocking at my fucking door. The fuck is this? Hold up, guys. Nope, I lied. All right, anyways, there was hiring freezes for like good jobs. All the good jobs were gone. If you wanted to work folding clothes, maybe. If you wanted to work serving people food, there'd be plenty of jobs for you then. But if you wanted like a career type job, like I can build, buy a home type job, those didn't exist. Those didn't exist until like middle to the end of 2015. Then slowly the jobs started coming back, and there was a lot of optimism. There was a lot of optimism in the air. There was a lot of optimism in the hearts and minds of people. And of course, a new president was on the horizon. We were about to just leave behind the Obama regime, and that was more than enough for people to kind of get a boost, right? And then of course Trump came in and just like everything flourished. But now we're seeing hiring freezes. We're seeing massive layoffs. I mean, I've been covering it reliably on the show. Prices for everything is still insanely high, and it's only going to get worse. The government was always lying. The people who are just touting how amazing the jobs numbers are, I mean, it's bullshit. The government quietly erased 439,000 jobs through November 2023. A closer look at the numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that means its initial job results were inflated by 439,000 positions, and the job market is not as healthy as the government suggests. Yeah, no shit. But you know what? If a street guy like me can notice that, I'll just tell you that, guys, I go out a lot. I talk with people, and I'm not a dumbass. And I just notice things, right? And I'm just like, dude, like I have a I have like an account on like Glassdoor, so I can like talk shit about companies, and I have an account with Indeed and stuff. And sometimes I've used those as leads to like move up and stuff. And I would get recommendations for all these jobs. They're all gone. All the good jobs are gone. They've laid off. No more hiring. It's over. So I could just tell it's like it's over, dude. Like even in my company, it's like, oh, lead electrician, master electrician, accounts payable position, or whatever the case may be. Like all the good positions that pay really well, they're all gone. So, you just notice it like on a small level, and just imagine how much worse it is elsewhere. This matters because the U.S. jobs reports move the markets and U.S. Treasury yields. Plus, they are a significant factor in the Federal Reserve's decision about the path of interest rate hikes and cuts, all that affects U.S. consumers' pockets. Time to stop trading off the payroll data, tweeted David Rosenberg, founder of Rosenberg Research Associates. By his calculations, he says the downward revisions came to an epic 443,000, adding more than 40% of payroll growth in 2023 came from the fairy tale birth-death model the BLS uses to guesstimate its jobs reports. Again, the government sector in December ranked high in job creation, which is a lie. It created 50,000 jobs, it's a lie. In the final month of 2023, as Fox Business Edward Lawrence points out, that brings the 3-month average of jobs created by the government sector to $50,000 per month. Lawrence says Acting Labor Secretary Julie Su would not answer if this is sustainable when I pressed her. Wow. Yeah, also government jobs being created when like the economy is shit like is meaningless because the government will just print more money and hire whatever it wants, or they'll tax us to death, which is what they're doing, and or to pass some bill and more spending is allocated to pay for more fucking DC pigs, DC cops to brutalize innocent Americans. The healthcare and social assistance sector, which relies heavily on money from the government spending, created about 59,000 jobs. Again, useless jobs. All these people are useless. The problem of overstated job numbers is not a new one. Of course, in August of 2023, the BLS issued a preliminary revision for the 12 months through March of 2023, showing U.S. growth for that period was overstated by a net of 306,000 jobs. That's 25,500 fewer jobs. So they have a history of lying, you guys. This is what they do. This is what the government does. It's just a bunch of fucking liars. And again, most of these jobs are just like, hospitality. Although the so-called jobs created, just bullshit jobs. Second jobs. Hospitality, food service, that kind of stuff. And those wages for these specific positions are going to be devalued because those workers are competing with illegal labor. Because illegal aliens, these are the jobs that they do when they come to the U.S. because they don't speak the language, which I guess you don't really have to. They don't really have skills or the knowledge to do complex stuff like banking or doing fucking heart surgery or accounting or something like I do, like electrical work. They can't do that. So they end up competing with young people trying to get a start in life. They're competing with, the mom working a part-time job, so she's not bringing in as much money as she could, even though she's working part-time. It's a vicious cycle, you guys. It's fucking vicious out there. And again, this is only going to get worse. This is going to be like Obama's economy for those 8 grueling years, but on steroids. It's largely why I kind of think Brandon should win again, because it would be funny for my enemies to be wiped out by another Brandon term. They did it, though. They did this to themselves. I warned people not to go this way. I warned people about election integrity, and I wasn't taken seriously. And a lot of us weren't taken seriously. Granted, some of my fellow contemporaries aren't really good at communicating ideas or communicating effectively why election integrity is important and why or how we're vulnerable when it comes time to voting and who the main culprits are in ensuring that our elections get rigged. The Postal Service plays a role. The DMV plays a role. And, it's just how it is. Just be warned. So whenever the libtards talk about the economy, just know that it's bullshit. They're lying to you or they're tricked. U.S. economy is starting to look more like the 1970s. J.P. Morgan Chase's Jamie Dimon says. So Jamie Dimon, he basically runs Chase Bank. Yeah, the government or the economy is looking like 1970s. Jimmy Carter was the president in 1970s, and that guy ended up getting his ass kicked. The guy just ended up getting wiped out. He went down in history as one of the worst presidents in U.S. history, right up there with Obama, and he's going to be right up there. And Joe Biden is going to be right up there with him. Despite a generally optimistic outlook for the U.S. markets and the generally optimistic, who's optimistic about this? Again, it's fake news right off the bat. Generally optimistic outlooks for the U.S. markets in the new year. The head of one of the country's biggest banks is seemingly not convinced. The Federal Reserve can achieve a soft landing as a result of their most aggressive rate hike campaign since the 1980s. Jesus. During an exclusive interview on Morning with Maria Tuesday, J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon warned about the possibility of a looming recession. Dude, we're already in a recession. We have been in a recession. When people are like, looming recession, the recession is lurking, or anything to that effect, they're lying to you. The definition of a recession changed to protect this illegitimate regime. Joe Biden is going to go down in history as one of the most protected presidents, one of the most protected politicians in all of human history. I stand by that wholeheartedly. While comparing the financial state to the turbulent period of 50 years ago when the nation endured a decade of high inflation, a decade of this. Can you imagine if we had to deal with fucking 10 more years of this shit? I look at a lot of things and forget just economic models for a second. $2 trillion of fiscal deficit, the Infrastructure and IRA Act, the green economy, and the remilitarization of the world, the restructuring of trade are all inflationary. That's not true. The only thing that is hold on. The IRA, the infrastructure, yes, because that's government spending. IRA Act, yes, that's government spending. Green economy, that basically means subsidies for a bunch of horseshit woke projects, yes. The remilitarization of the world, so basically government spending money on advanced weaponry in Ukraine and Israel, that's government spending right there. And the restructuring of trade, I don't know what he means by restructuring of trade, but everything else is, yeah, that's all inflationary. The government is what causes inflation. Full stop. Nothing else. Government spending causes inflation. You create more bullshit money, you inflate the currency, making it meaningless. Meaning you have less spending power. So I think there's a chance here that people should be prepared that inflation comes down, but then bounces around 3% and maybe even bounces up a little bit. Okay, Jamie Dimon, whatever you say. And those implied curves will change. Are people ready for that? I'm not sure. I don't believe Jamie Dimon has any political perspective or prospects, but he sure talks like a politician. He's being really slimy here in his words. What else we got? Joe Biden to upend millions of Americans' jobs under new rule. So if the job economy, the job market wasn't already dog shit enough, Joe Biden comes along to make it worse. Somehow. It's a great skill of his. He's just like, yeah, never underestimate his ability to fuck shit up. Joe Biden to upend millions of Americans' jobs under new rule. Wait. Are you telling me that spending go burr is bad? Yeah, you see. It's worse than it actually is, man. The Biden, you know what's so funny? Like, people keep saying it's like, if like the money is meaningless and they can just print it, it's like, why bother taxing us? You know, you can just print the fucking money. It's not like we have a say in how our government operates anyways. Like, them stealing our money via taxes, payroll taxes or whatever, like, it's a humiliation ritual. It really is. The Biden administration is expected to announce a new contractor rule this week, which could impact millions of American workers who are employed in the gig economy and treated as economically independent from the companies they work for. The new U.S. Department of Labor rules in answer to the massive growth experienced by the gig economy in recent years. It employed an estimated of 36% of American workers, or about 57.2 million people, before the pandemic, according to Gallup and Statista. In 2023, the latter estimated the number of freelancers in the U.S., blah, 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 who cares? With the new legislation, independent contractors would be entitled to the same benefits and legal protections as regularly employed workers. It would replace the Trump administration's regulation that said any workers who own their own business or have the ability to work for competing companies can be treated as contractors. Oh boy. The Biden administration says that this regulation violated the U.S. wage laws, allowing companies to spend much less on their independent contractors than they would on their regular employees. Misclassification deprives workers of their federal labor protections, including the right to be paid their full legally earned wages. Then U.S. Labor Secretary Marty Walsh said in October when the rule was proposed. The law inspired by California, blah, blah, blah. The law was criticized by cross-partisan groups for the potential loss of flexibility in hours for gig workers, many of whom might be attracted by working outside of a fixed schedule, and the potential higher costs redistributed to customers after reclassifying workers in September of the same year in 2020. California, blah, blah, blah. So let me see, the U.S. Department. I want to see how many jobs are going to be. Are people going to? I think I read that like a lot of places are just going to fucking lay people off. Let's see. It entitled gig workers to a minimum wage, employee benefits, and other perks enjoyed by regularly contracted employees. The U.S. Department of Labor law is likely to face just as much backlash, although it is widely supported by trade unions and some workers' rights advocates. It is certainly a bold move for President Joe Biden, who is seeking re-election in November, to pass a measure with the potential to upend completely the U.S. job market. Okay, I think I know what's going on here. So basically, they're forcing like a minimum wage standard on companies like Uber and Lyft. If my memory serves me right, these get like DoorDash, etc. You guys get it. Forcing these companies like Uber and Lyft and all these companies, all these gig companies, I'm gonna call them gig companies. It forces these gig companies to give benefits to people and force them to have. They're gonna have a fixed schedule. I mean, this is what this probably means, right? I mean, if you want the full benefits, you need to work 40 hours. I would have to look more into this. I'm not entirely sure how this would go down, but when they're talking about upend millions of American jobs, and that might be, what they're talking about behind closed doors or like off the record. They're like, oh, well, at the very least, we can say, yeah, millions of people's jobs are going to be upended. That means they're going to cut a lot of the drivers for these gig jobs. They're going to cut them, and they're going to have a handful. The services are probably not going to be as reliable. They're probably going to have certain hours where they actually operate and other hours where they don't, because of the fixed schedule thing. Again, like at least where I live, if you want to be entitled to benefits, you want to be entitled to certain protections, etc., you need to work 40 hours or more. And a lot of companies, they would get away with not paying a certain wage, not giving benefits if they were just under that 40-hour threshold. And people who work in the gig economy don't really care about these things. This isn't really important to them. But now everything has changed because the Bolsheviks appear to have captured elements of the government. They feel emboldened because they've gotten all these wins, even though they got them through nefarious and rigged means, but whatever. So they're pushing for this aggressive anti-worker, anti-business agenda, anti-choice agenda. So, millions of people are going to, there's a lot of people who work full-time and also do the gig economy. And now now that supplemental income might be completely undone or just not available to them, because if you want to work for Lyft or Uber, you're going to have to work 40 hours a week, and you'll have a fixed schedule, but you'll get benefits already. And this is a mess. This is a mess. But this is Biden's America, you guys. Vote for him in 2024, and no one's going to have a job if he wins again. And dude, I'm all for it, man. Again, I'm down for what's funny. Trump winning would be fucking hilarious. It would be biblical, and it would be historic. It would be all the things at once. But Biden winning would ensure the complete and total destruction of my enemies. While I want Orange Man to win, I am a glass half full kind of guy. And while times are going to get worse, things will get worse for us, for sure. Those who prepare accordingly, we're going to be all right. Things are going to be okay if you prepare and if you're ready and expect it, which I certainly do. All right, Gen Z complaining about work. All right, let's hear what this young lady has to say. Really cute hair. I like this hair.
I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9-to-5 for the rest of their lives. Let me put it in perspective for everybody who's a little confused here, okay? I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat. All by myself. I would not be capable of doing that.
Now, keep in mind, her weight, she's wearing a Walmart uniform. So she competes with illegal labor. She can't afford basic necessities. Going to the casino tonight. When you win the millions, just remember your boy, rookie. Anyways, illegal aliens, it's kind of like people, a lot of our issues really do spring forth from the illegal alien invasion in the U.S. Our wages are depressed because workers like this young lady have to compete with illegal labor. Housing is largely not available because we just got an influx. The U.S. just imported, a few million people into the country within a few months. There's literally over 60 million illegal aliens residing in the U.S. right now. And they're not homeless. Well, some of them are living in tents right now because there were just too many at once. But They get free housing. They get free food. They get free utility services. You know, they get these things for free, you guys. They get free healthcare. Healthcare is expensive. Food is expensive. Utilities are expensive. The country being flooded with people contributes to that. And that problem is getting significantly worse. Much worse. Let's let her finish her thought.
20 years ago when you were getting started, you could live on your own. 20 years ago when you first started, you were able to do everything that I am now struggling to do.
Now, what was going on, or what's going on now that wasn't going on 20 years ago? Mass importation of illegal aliens.
Add another perspective here. You've been working for 20 years. You have 20 years of working experience behind your belt. You have 20 years of experience in a career that has allowed you to gain raises, to get more money, to profit you in an economy that you created. You can sit here and you can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but I've been working my tail end off just to barely make it by. And respectfully, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I don't want to work my tail end off, wasting all of my life.
Well, what are you going to do about it, girly? Are you just going to make TikTok videos? Are you going to become informed on these matters and vote accordingly? Or are you just going to, whine about it?
Working just to barely be able to pay my bills. And that is what you created, not Gen Z. We're just here getting started. You've been doing it for the last 20 years.
Yeah, you know, the people 20 years ago didn't create this problem. The illegal alien invasion, the onslaught, has been going on since the 60s. Granted, it's gotten significantly worse within the past 20 years. Granted. But none of us voted for this. None of us asked for this. If it was put on the ballot right now, and it was, you know, if we were able to vote legitimately, and the vote would count, and it would be honored. If we were allowed to vote to build the wall to deter illegal aliens from illegally entering into the country, reaping public services, reaping the benefits of public services that we pay into, people would vote no. If we had a choice, would you vote yes to compete with illegal labor and devalue your wages just to feel good about yourself regarding this one issue? Would you do it? Most people would vote no. They don't want money taken out of their check to feed the mouths of people who really don't belong in this country. Would you vote to have a artificially created crisis in housing? They would vote no. She never complained. Yeah, she is complaining, Mike. She is complaining. My mom worked 2 jobs and barely afforded rent. Yeah, a lot of people. I work 2 jobs. Legal Mexican immigrants are building different. I don't know about that. My mom also voted Republican when she became successful job-wise. I don't even work 1 job, but I complain so much. I have to write a goddamn book now. I know, right? Yeah, I mean, Mike Floyd, your family situation might be different, but there's a lot of these videos like this young lady here complaining about not making that much money because her wages are being depressed. That's not the result of an evil, greedy corporation. That's not a result of Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden's not really to blame per se entirely. He told us what he was going to do. These new Mexicans come from socialist style economy. I think all of Latin America is socialist style economy, except for Argentina. They're like the only ones that aren't. I mean, granted, we're seeing really promising trends among the Mexican community. We're seeing really promising trends with Venezuelans and Cubans. But Puerto Ricans, Brazilians, you know, there's Guatemalans, you know, they don't vote with us. And I have contention with like the Catholic bros because they're like, oh, well, they're Catholic. They're a masculine culture. And I just don't agree with that at all. And again, I also don't really give a fuck if that is true anyways, because they vote against my interests. They depress the wages of the youth, like this young lady here. Like like when I was in college, I worked 2 jobs. And I didn't get paid that well, but I worked 2 jobs. And I do know what it's like. They are the right wingers of Mexican politics. Let's see, my mom grew up when the government was run by Mexican Republicans. They are the right wingers of Mexican politics. I don't know. Honestly, like, does Mexico even have like a legitimately functioning government? It seems like their government is ran by the cartel. I mean, they're allowing hordes of people. Like, if I was running Mexico, I would want Mexico to remain Mexican, and I wouldn't want anybody just wandering into this country. I don't give a fuck where they're going. It's like, oh, you want to go to the U.S.? Whoop! I'm gonna shut the doors on the Mexico southern border. Just absolute insanity. And of course, there's just so much drugs and weapons and all this crazy shit flooding into the U.S. border. I can't do it. Milky Green. Hello. Sorry for bothering you. I want to offer a promotion to your channel. Oh, fuck off. Hold on. Can I ban this guy through Restream? Oh, it's only Restream chat. In the days it became shitty. 70s was a boom. And 60s. Yeah, like if you look at pictures of Mexico, prior to the 80s, like it was a really beautiful place. And Mexico is like a really resource-rich country. They have no business being in the state that they're in. But it's abundantly clear that their government was captured by the cartel. And by the way, so is the U.S. The U.S. government, elements of it are certainly captured by the Mexican cartel. Elements of our government has been captured by the communist Chinese government. And it's also been captured by clerks in government on the local level. And of course, bureaucrats in Brussels. So when I deride the military and I celebrate its weakness, just know that the weaker the military is, the easier it is for us to resist our annihilation, essentially. I think maybe his mom did not grow up just in these past few years. Dipshit. Hold up. Who are you calling it? Are you calling me a dipshit, rookie? It was post-socialist economy for 20 years. And they said, mod me, I'll ban him. How do I mod you? Hold up. All right, AC, I'm going to make you a mod. Let me see if I can do this quickly. Ooh. Give me 1 second. God damn it. Oh, these fucking promoters. Can't stand it, man. YouTube has all this money, and they can't even ban. They can't even keep these fucking bots and these self-promoters off these sites. But if you have the wrong opinions, they'll get rid of you real quick. Yes, you got it right. Yay. Shut up, rookie. Let's see. Shut up, rookie. All right. Okay, got it. All right, AC. Add as a moderator. All right, there you go. There you go. You got a little wrench, buddy. All right, anyways. It was a joke. Too much responsibility. Oh, man. You made me do all that work?
You tell me how it got ruined. We can sit here and we can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but you let the economy turn into what it did. You let it all run to hell. And now it's Gen Z's fault because we don't want to work to fix your mistakes.
You know, I'm not going to bother researching it, but didn't Gen Z, aren't they like the most rainbow generation of our lifetime? And didn't they also overwhelmingly vote for Joe Biden? Yeah, dude, guys, like, again, I'm not one to shit on young people. I got nothing but love and respect for all people, especially young people. I was a young person once too. But take some fucking responsibility for yourself. I was an ex-Bernie bro. I don't make excuses for my shitty opinions or how I used to vote or the work I used to do for the Democratic Party. I take responsibility in the fact that I was a part of the problem. I don't make excuses for anybody, or I don't make excuses for myself, and I just flat out take responsibility. I mean, isn't that like the cornerstone of being a conservative or someone who's quote unquote on the right, is taking personal responsibility for your own actions? All they got to do is keep the shit smarter. People built running. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so yeah, people trip out. I mean, this is not an original idea, but something that, you know, that I've been impressing on people, and Owen Benjamin also has brought this up. He's like, look, you're going to start noticing the decay of society and just like the significant decline in civilization when planes start falling out of the sky. And I think I've gone over like quite a few stories already where like the plane like literally like was about to take off and then it fell in the water. And there was also a couple of very high profile incidences with Boeing where like the plane was literally falling apart in midair. And, you know, dude, one of these days there's going to be, dude, before the election, mark my word, there's going to be planes falling out of the fucking sky. The diversity hires, that problem, that issue, that the shipbirds have come home to roost. We're in dark territory. We're beyond the point of no return. As we move forward, we are going to see horrific incidences, tragic freak accidences. There was this explosion in Texas. I think it was in Texas or Tennessee or Kentucky. So some massive explosion, and it was apparently it was a gas explosion. So something to do with like the utilities. Well, when you stop hiring and you push out the kind of people that kept civilization running, this is what you get. You get everything falling apart because the people who actually built the society, who built, you know, the machines that keep everything, keep us all comfortable. Once they're gone, everything goes. Yeah, we're fucked. All right, let's get into pop culture news. Star Wars director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy says it's about time a woman shaped a Star Wars film. Yeah, didn't this already happen? Wasn't Kathleen Kennedy running the show? Again, I don't really follow this stuff, but you know, I felt the need to point this out, just to reinforce my opinion that cape shit in Star Wars is complete and total garbage, and caring about this stuff is meaningless and just a jackass endeavor. So I will just say this: I hope that Star Wars becomes progressively more fruity. I want to see old Luke Skywalker get railed in the ass by a Wookiee. I want it to be so unbelievably woke that Nerdrotic has a fucking heart attack on a live stream hanging out with that retard Yellow Flash. I think that would be so fucking funny. I just like to see them, you know, freak out and, you know, act like, you know, little like cockroaches and shit. And, you know, they see like a woman, they're like, oh, no. Put a man in it instead with a big dick, you know, a woman in my Star Wars. Like, come on, bro. Like, dude, you guys are like in your 40s and 50s and shit, and you guys are still chimping out about this. I mean, come on, dude. What's going on? Let's see. What else does she have to say? Star Wars director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy has said it's about time a woman shaped a Star Wars film after the beloved sci-fi franchise has gone close to half a century with films directed only by men. Obaid-Chinoy will direct a currently untitled and undated Star Wars film starring sequel trilogy star Daisy Ridley that follows her character Rey Skywalker as she looks to rebuild the Jedi Order 15 years after the events of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of the Skywalker. Oh, wow. Oh, man, that sounds so unbelievably boring. Yet morons will still flock to go see it. All these anti-woke grifter people. I'm very thrilled about the project because I feel what we're about to create is something very special. Obaid-Chinoy told CNN, we're in 2024 now, and it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape a story in a galaxy far, far away. Boring. Who cares? The original Star Wars premiered in 1977. Who cares? Let's see. The film was announced at the Star Wars Celebration 2023 on April 7th. Ridley said she hadn't even been approached about the role as of February 2023. The rapid turnaround between the initial conversation with Lucasfilms and her appearance at the event had her feeling very nervous. Ridley said, I was shitting myself. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. It's going to be more retarded, and people will still go and see it. If planes start falling out of the sky, I'll have to assume all my other nightmares will come true as well. Yeah, Rookie, it's going to happen. I mean, illegal aliens are going to be cops now. So, you're going to see more rapes and horrific abuses at the hands of the police because the police aren't going to be actual U.S. citizens. They're not going to have actual ties to the land. So they're going to do stuff like that. Houses are going to burn down because you're going to have illegal aliens going into people's homes and doing electrical work or, building the central AC systems. And, it's just nothing's going to work. Nothing's going to work. Yeah, good luck finding an honest mechanic. Good luck finding any person who matters to keep your life comfortable. They're all going to be gone. Don't forget to make those numbers go burr. Yeah, thank you, AC. Yeah. All right. What else do we got here in pop culture news? Rage in tandem with the machine breaks up a third time, won't be touring or playing live again. I hope they never ever play again. So these communist shitbags they're the pro Biden, pro democracy retards. Rage Against the Machine fans won't be seeing their reunion anytime soon, as the band has broken up for a third time. Good. Drummer Brad Wilk made the announcement in a lengthy statement on Wednesday. I know a lot of people are waiting for us to announce new tour dates for all the canceled Rage Against the Machine shows. Will55 wrote in an Instagram post, "I don't want to string people or myself along any further, so while there has been some communication that this may be happening in the future, I want to tell you that Rap M will not be touring or playing live again." I'm sorry for those. Okay, yeah. Yeah, though, this is great. Maybe this is proof that 2024 is going to be our year and that nature is healing. So yeah, less of Rage Against the Machine and more positive news. The Marilyn Monroe effect. Okay, so now we got to get into the 304 stuff. There's quite a bit to go over. There's a lot of fun shit here, guys. It's gonna get real wild. So the Marilyn Monroe effect might be the key to saving your love life. Here's how it works. Okay, so Marilyn Monroe is basically like what Andrew Tate is for like basic bitch dudes. Marilyn Monroe is for like just general basic bitches. Confession: I've been horribly cliche with my New Year's resolution this year. Following a slightly disastrous 12 months of dating in 2023, I decided to actively turn things around. I'm even going so far as accepting some responsibility for the last year's bad dating antics. A woman taking some accountability for her own actions? We'll see about that. It would appear, thanks to a lot of brutal but fair feedback from friends, that my body language didn't exactly scream approach me when I was out and about. I much preferred to just be laser focused on my friends or my phone or the cocktail menu. Yeah, if you want to be approached, you got to be approachable. Okay, it's kind of obvious. Each night I would say to the girls, "Oh, I hope I pick up tonight," before inevitably ignoring every bloke in sight and waking up the next day wondering why the heck the other side of the bed was empty. So she's ignoring dudes and she's wondering why she's alone. Okay, so dudes are approaching her, but it's not the guys that she wants. Okay, so now sure, I could have swiped left and right on the apps, and don't get me wrong, I did. Okay. What a dumb bitch. But I will admit, I left many of them on red. Yep, I was that annoying person who would match with someone and then completely forget about them. I'm not going to blame her for this. I mean, look, I talked about this before. I don't want to waste my time talking to someone who's not going to sleep with me. She probably doesn't want to waste her time talking to some dude she knows she's not going to get with. Like some guy shows up and he looks like Destiny or Boogie 2988. Fuck it. Just waste of time. Move on. So she did nothing wrong here. So far, I mean, she's annoying, but she's not that bad. Safe to say, despite thinking I was ready to date again, my actions said otherwise. But this year I feel different. I finally kicked the two guys I was in distracting situationship. So she was sleeping with two guys. She's juggling between two men. All right, so I finally kicked the two guys I was in distracting situationships with to the curb. Hold your applause. Stop it now. You're just embarrassing me. And I'm open to dating someone who is emotionally available. Okay, so she's getting fucking dicked down by these two dudes. Neither of them will commit. They let her down. But keep in mind, she's the one that kicked him to the curb. Okay. But now she's ready to settle down. She's ready for the emotionally available guy, the snag, the sensitive new age guy. So with that in mind, I've been looking for little tips and tricks that will allow me to meet someone in real life and appear approachable. Perhaps it was the universe or some form of God, or heck, even the ghost of Marilyn Monroe. Ugh, God, I'm rolling my eyes so hard. But I couldn't help but stumble upon a technique that is going wildly viral on TikTok that seemed like the perfect remedy. It's called the Marilyn Monroe effect. And it comes with five clear and precise rules. Before I get into them, okay, let's look at these fucking rules. What are the rules? All right, here's the rules. Here's the Marilyn Monroe effect. Have open body. So the desired effect of the Marilyn Monroe effect is to, I guess, attract a guy who's emotionally available. Those are the operative terms that were used throughout the article. So step 1, don't be staring at your phone the whole time. Look approachable, keep your chin high and shoulders back. Most dudes generally don't really give a fuck about like your body posture and stuff. But the phone is a big one. If a bitch is on her phone, that just means she's not interested at all. So when all these blokes were trying to get her attention, she was on her phone because she wasn't interested in them. And by the way, she did see them. She did notice them. Peripheral vision is a thing. Yeah, you'd be surprised what I notice when I'm on my phone. But now she wants to attract an emotionally available guy. So she's probably, gonna open herself up, be a little bit more open-minded about the kind of guys that she might want to attract. So it's not just gonna be a Chad or a Tyrone or a Alejandro. Make eye contact with people. I mean, yes, generally, when you're engaged in genuine human communication, you certainly want to make eye contact with people. Walk slowly and control body movement. Don't be rushing and no chaotic body movements. The Marilyn dude, who makes this shit up? Walk slowly. What if you're in a rush? Control your body movement. Were you not in control of your body when you were banging all these other dudes? Okay. Position yourself properly in the room. Don't be in the corner or the back. Make yourself the focus. So again, she's trying to attract a mate. Granted, the woman, she was going in the back. She was hiding in the corner. She was making herself invisible because she was getting fucked by dudes already. She found desirable men, but they were not willing to commit. But now now she's got to, rethink her strategy here. And now it's all me. Focus on me. I want to be the center of attention. I want to be the center of your world. Where's my beta simp? Where's my beta bucks to spend? Smile back at people. So she probably had a stink face when confronted with a so-called low-value male, an undesirable male. But she's changing it up, guys. She's switching up. It's 2024, new year, new me. She's going to smile at people, even the short guy. Maybe the fat guy like Boogie too. No, not him. Someone like like an Ethan Ralph or something. Well, dude, now he lost a bunch of weight. Good for him. Look at these women. Like, in what world would these women have a hard time finding a regular dude to date? All these women are attractive. They're well put together. They look like they look like they take care of themselves. Like they don't eat McDonald's like religiously. But they can't find a guy. Well, she did find 2 guys, but they didn't want to have a meaningful relationship with her. It was a situationship is just a nice way to saying, yeah, I'm getting fucked by these dudes without commitment. We got more. The golden penis syndrome. What is it, and how is it affecting your dating prospects? A term has been coined to describe the phenomenon, the golden penis syndrome. The term refers to the phenomenon where a smaller number of men get an overinflated sense of their own prowess and good looks because they're far outnumbered by women and therefore are in high demand. Their sexual and emotional needs are being catered to by dozens of women at any given time. For me, it's like once a week. So I don't know. I guess I'm doing something wrong. I could have dozens of women just washing my balls, but I only have one. Okay. Women to whom these men will never commit. How do young women begin to navigate the dating scene with fewer choices and desirable men? The golden penis syndrome. I guess I have a golden penis if I'm dating, I guess, in 2024. Earlier this month, the New York Post did an expose on these dire dud dating conditions plaguing large swaths of young women on college campuses. Just 40.5% of college students in the United States are male, to the National Student Clearinghouse, meaning they're in short supply and high demand when dating on campus. A lack of competition has led these men to develop golden penis syndrome, an arrogance that stems from the assumption that a steady supply of females will be sexually interested in them. All right, so far there's no claim here that they're getting laid, but they have an overinflated ego, or overinflated golden penis ego, because there's so few of them. Further, the Brookings Institute has reported a precipitous decline in university enrollment among males in 2020. Total first-time student enrollment was 13% lower in fall of 2020 than in fall of 2019. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Fewer men and more women on college campuses creates fierce competition among women who wish to find a suitable college boyfriend. who may be interested in more than just sex, and they're all too often coming up short. Okay, so that's why they're having golden penis syndrome. Well, at least when I went to college, this wasn't really a problem. I mean, I had no problem dating, but I wasn't like juggling chicks, that's for sure. I guess dudes now, you know, they have golden penises, or they feel like their penis is made out of gold because like all these like, you know, college bitches are just all over it. This is actually pretty funny. Fewer men and more women on college campuses creates fierce competition among women. As a dating and relationship coach, look, we can probably disregard all this information because it's from a relationship coach. I'm very familiar with this golden penis syndrome. Oh, I bet you are. Phenomenon as it relates to the many young women I assist in sorting through their dating doldrums. It goes something like this. I met Chad. Chad is really hot and sexy. He's super popular and so many girls like him. I slept with him and fell in love, and now he stopped texting me. How do I get him back? Meanwhile, 3 or 4 other girls are active on his phone as of 7 p.m. with one naked by his side and 300 more neatly filed away among several obscure messaging apps. Yeah, the apps aren't really a thing, so that's probably why I wasn't, you know, getting 12 a fucking week or whatever. I didn't have a rotation. Again, it was just one after the other. Juggling them just really wasn't something that was not without a lot of effort. So through my countless hours of labor and research in helping these women reconcile their heartbreak, I've come to the conclusion it's entirely impossible for women to make a comeback from this walk of shame, blunder, and regain Sir Golden Penis fleeting interest. Once he's gotten his fill of unattached sex, he's gone. He's been lavished with attention, idolization, emotional investment, and finally sex in exchange for essentially nothing on his part. Bare minimum effort with a few sparse texts, brief initial stage love bombing, a swift top bunk liaison, and she's left high and dry with some ghosting. This is all too commonplace. Yeah. No, it is. Oh, we got some comments here. Don't forget to like, make the... Okay, let's see. I tried to juggle 3 chicks in 2 days. It's too much work. Not worth it. I know it could be pretty rough. This is a funny article. Yet, golden penis syndrome represents so much more than just the titillating romp with a scarce and in-demand sexy cat. It's the overall decline in masculinity versus desirable men that's driving golden penis syndrome all over the Western world. Many have dubbed it a consequence of the Pareto principle. I think there's the Pareto distribution, wherein the top 20% of masculine men are monopolizing detached sex with the top 80% of women. The mimetic term alpha widow applies here too. This is EV Magazine, guys. This is far left EV Magazine. Applies here too, where an unsuspecting young woman gets a night with Chad and is ruined forever for every other man. She's said to have gifted him with lifelong emotional investment, thus no other man will live up to her standards based on her short-lived situationship with Chad. Yeah, I mean, this is an unfortunate reality. There was this post that went viral on Twitter where it was this old lady. She was like in her 70s or 80s. And this person was like, oh, isn't it cute? Like, my grandma still talks about her first date with, like, you know, Irv, the plumber in the 1920s or some shit. Like, she still can't get over that guy. And she's moved on and had kids and been married and shit. Yeah, alpha widow is like a real thing. Like, this is a real thing, you guys. I mean, I'm sure there's like a couple women who are just like, I made them alpha widows. It's kind of horrifying to think about. I don't want anyone thinking of me that way. Golden penis guys are in it for the emotional commitment too, but never his. Pickup artistry often lends itself to the following game techniques: triangulation, jealousy, pitting women against each other. Again, guys do nothing. They just exist. They're just there. And the women just has to be there too. Like, none of this is complicated. Negging. Lowering women's self-esteem through backhanded compliments. Ooh. Yeah, it's a technique I like to use. Stonewalling, being closed off, emotionally unavailable, and thus more challenging. Well, yeah, girls don't like emotional dudes. Like legitimate emotional dudes, not like emo guys. Like guys who are just like, oh my God, like my energy is off today. Like, those dudes are fucking bitches. Like, no one likes those. Breadcrumbing. Stinginess with time, effort, and resources. Yeah, I'm breadcrumbing, sure. Right now I'm breadcrumbing. I'm not going to waste my time texting this woman. I got to clean my office. I got to play with my dogs. I got money to make. I had to. I just have work to do. I got to stream. Yeah, texting about stupid bullshit. I'm just not interested in wasting my time doing that. The result is a new generation of men who appear to have become accustomed to ghosting and cheating on naive and impressionable women. Yeah, I would never cheat on a woman right now, at the very least. Cheating is just not a good thing. Women who are neither emotionally nor physically or psychologically prepared for the onslaught of this manipulative behavior. Well, women are pretty manipulative too. It's not just guys. Again, there's so many dudes out there that are displaced, dispossessed, replaced, and they're invisible essentially. And now there's just a very, very handful of few economically attractive men, physically attractive men, especially now because most people are fucking overweight and they just can't stop eating the goy slop, consuming the soy drinks, etc. So there's just very few dudes who are desirable. When you don't have to do anything, like none of this is hard. It really isn't. This is a creation of their own making. All right, well, there's more. It's impossible for a woman after 40 to find a boyfriend. I have no children. I cook delicious food and have a big house. Am I really that bad? Well, asking the internet is a really stupid thing to do. I mean, how the hell are we supposed to know? Oh, I got to turn off that shitty music. Yeah, so cute blonde woman crying in the car. She does look physically attractive. Again, like a woman like this has no business being single. She has no business being single. This is her choice.
I know a lot of you are going to say that video was created just to get clicks and likes. And maybe you're right. I mean, let's face it. It wouldn't be the first time, right? And
no, it absolutely is. Now, oh, maybe this, maybe that. No, it absolutely was for clicks and likes. TikTok and Instagram and stuff like this is a great way for women to get validation. Women to get attention. They need it. They need it like motor oil.
And you can call me crazy if you want, but I'm going to choose to believe that it was a genuine video, a genuine question being asked. And to that young lady, I say, no, it probably isn't that you're that bad, but it speaks volumes about where we are in 2024.
No, she probably is. I mean, how would you know? How would you know? Again, I'm not trying to judge somebody of, I don't know, 40, single, you look like that. Again, in no way does somebody who looks like her be single. That is her fault, 100%.
Because while you may not be that bad, the fact of the matter is there are a lot of bad women in your age group out there. Ones who have no problem destroying a man. In fact, they think it's fun to do it. They seek to take advantage of them, use them, and then toss them aside like yesterday's garbage. And that's not new. But the reality is, for decades, men didn't see that. They didn't realize it was happening. But now they've wised up, and they are seeing it. And they're asking themselves, what's the benefit? What's the benefit to being in a relationship? And women are really struggling to come to grips with that. They can't seem to understand it. They can't fathom why men see them in such a negative light. So let me try and put it in terms that maybe will help them to understand. Ladies, you know how you all say it's all men till it's no men? That you can't know if a guy is good or bad, whether he's going to...
Well, okay, let me just... Something look, I don't believe this whole men are afraid to approach a woman like her because dating is scary. A woman like her has choices. A woman like her has zero issues finding dates. Zero issues getting invited over to stay the night at a dude's house. That woman is not lonely. No, that woman is never alone. She's just lonely because she's not getting what she really wants, which is commitment from certain individuals. This guy right here has no chance with that 40-year-old woman. That's just a harsh reality of it. Like the whole dudes in the manosphere or in the red pill or MGTOW movement, they're just like, oh, I'm just afraid of, being falsely accused of rape. I'm afraid that some woman is going to ruin my life because I brought her flowers and I asked her out. Dude, that doesn't really happen, guys. At worst, a woman's going to make fun of you and giggle and laugh, and that will be the end of it. She'll probably forget you exist as soon as you leave the area. It's a cope, really. This is a cope.
To treat you right or cause you harm. Guess what? It's no different for men when it comes to women. Just like you can't know if a guy's good or bad, we can't know if a woman is good or bad. Just like you say it's all men till it's no men.
Yeah, that's why I always impress upon people, choose your partner carefully. This isn't rocket science. This guy's overthinking it.
We're now saying it's all women till it's no women. And you can't be upset by that. You've been saying it for decades. And now that same standard you've applied is being applied to you. You say you live in fear of men. Well, guess what? Men rightfully now live in fear of women, especially now that we live in the Me Too era and the Believe All Women movement, which women have now weaponized to destroy men. We've reached a point where a presumption of guilt exists. A mere allegation proves the man guilty and his life is then destroyed. And even when he's exonerated, when it's been proven she lied, that allegation will stay with him for the rest of his life. I hate to break it to you ladies, but contrary to what you've been taught by all your girlfriends, we men are not idiots. We're not simple-minded. We see what's going on. We see the risks that relationships, hell, even approaching you, entail. And as
Yeah, that's why so many dudes are lonely. That's why so many dudes are single. That's why so many dudes are virgins or incels or whatever. It's because all the risks, right? There's just so many risks. They can go to jail. They can get an STD. They can, that's not why it's not why she's alone. I'm just being honest with you guys. It's not why she's alone. She's alone because she is a physically attractive woman. And even to this day, she's still delusional enough to think that she has options. And when she was young enough, even like in her 30s or early 30s, mid 30s, she had a good amount of options and could have settled, and she didn't. She could have settled with somebody who would never hurt her, who would always do right by her, always be faithful, but it wasn't what she wanted. She had unrealistic expectations, and now she's alone, crying crocodile tears, pretending that there's something wrong with her inherently or something that we see that's wrong with her, and it's not. You just, the guys that you want just don't care about you. And the ones that wanted you, you don't even know exist, or you treat them like they don't exist. Has nothing to do with Me Too or whatever horseshit this dork is talking about.
as we do, we've assessed those risks and realized it's not worth it anymore, which is why we're seeing more and more of these videos of women going, why can't I find someone? It's not that we don't want to be in relationships with you, but we're done dealing with the toxic femininity and the belief that we're inherently bad simply because we're men.
It's not femininity, toxic femininity. It's rejection, dude. Guys like you get rejected and it sucks. And eventually you're at a point where you just walk away, and that's understandable.
The data's out there. Men are walking away. They are done with relationships and they are done with marriage. For 50 years now, feminism has taught women to live in fear of men, to do everything they can to avoid them. What they didn't realize is they were teaching men at the same time that we need to fear you women and to avoid you as well. Actually, that's wrong. The truth is, they absolutely realized that that was what they were doing. In fact, it was their goal. It is sad. It is not good for society. Feminism's stated goal to destroy relationships doesn't benefit anyone. And it's why we're seeing an epidemic of loneliness for both men and women. We do need to be in healthy, happy relationships. But as I said, the risk for men far exceeds any potential reward. And it's not going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, most men, or I don't know about most, but a lot of men are lonely and alone. Women, like the one at the beginning of the video, here, let's go back, see what she looks like.
Now I know a lot of you are going to say that video.
Yeah, she's just alone. She's not alone. She's lonely. She's not alone. Like even when she's crying, she's kind of attractive. See what the comments say. This must be YouTube video. Shit is too long for TikTok. Perhaps, but content creators with huge followings get extended time on TikTok. Could be the case here. I don't know. Bro, I'm going to install TikTok just to support this dude. Who's this creator? This is fair, thorough, and measured. No, I don't think so. I kind of disagree with the guy who made the video. I like being alone. I have control over my own shit. Therefore, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read all this. It's boring. Bro posted about men's plight of dating on some random woman's attempt to reach good men. He just convinced her it isn't all bad. Since my wife passed away in 2021 after 17 years together, I'm officially single for life. Not a flex. I'm in my 40s, 6'4", and have millions, and prefer women in their 30s and 40s. I check off most boxes on women's wish list, and this guy speaks the truth. I have checked out of dating for years because of the climate. Well, I guess if you're 6'4" and have millions of dollars, then, you know, maybe this being your choice is understandable. But again, like somebody who looks like this dude or like a Destiny or a Hunter Avalon, like that ain't a fucking choice. I'm just saying, guys, not a choice. All right, let's move on. Oh yeah, Brittany Venti posting some cringe here. Notice how the manosphere is filled with glee when they see women suffer. They're mauling at the idea that women get attention and are taken care of because it's not them. These guys are feminine. So on the left, she has a picture of a corn star, Riley Reid, and I guess it's this red pill guy. He says, man on the right is a true simp for marrying used up corn star woman of the streets. Yeah, Riley, you know, like, again, I'm against pornography. I'm against the content. And when the revolution comes, the people who run those companies, they're not going to make it. However, like I also, again, it's hard to be mad at these things that you don't consume or engage with. Like I didn't even know who this person was until someone pointed it out, and you know the memes are all over Twitter and Facebook and stuff. Yeah, dude, she's had like millions of dongs in her mouth, but now she has a little family, and to that I say good for her. But as a dude who has standards, as a dude who knows better, I would not settle for someone like this. Not even for recreational use. No, thank you. I'm not looking to get sick. I'm not looking to have a permanent disease. But yeah, people are making fun of this guy for settling with his woman. I mean, when he kisses her mouth, like millions of dongs have been in that mouth. When they trade saliva, cum course through that saliva. It's just like, why would you do this to yourself? And then, of course, there's this other post of the woman that we were making fun of. This will be amplified in the next 10 to 20 years. Feminism and social media has made most Western women insufferable. You will see Instagram models today crying in cars like this on social media within the decade, wondering where all the good men have gone. Dude, you don't have to wait a decade. This was literally going viral just 15 hours ago, according to this post. She's 40 years old. She can cook. She can clean. She's got no kids, so she's not a single mom. And she's asking, is she really that bad? I don't know. What else does Brittany have to say? Red pill guys like RX Red Pill and Unplug Fit X hate when women do well for themselves and love to see women suffering. They lack dignified masculine qualities. Well, I didn't really see that. I saw more of a rebuke of this man and more a rebuke of the culture than this woman specifically. So Brittany Venti is lying, or she's just stupid and lacks comprehension. I don't even want to call it rainbow behavior, because plenty of rainbow men would have more fatherly masculine instinct to protect women than these manosphere guys have. Yeah, protecting women that want nothing to do with you, or protecting women that absolutely detest and hate you is that's a bitch thing to do. Society sucks. This country sucks. A lot of these people don't like me because of the way that I vote and because of my strong opinions. But I've never hurt anybody. I never caused grave harm to anything or anyone. But they consumed media lies, bullshit narratives. And yeah, there's guys who see the behavior of these women, like these two right here. Well, we know Riley's kind of a woke tard, but I don't know about the chick on the right. And it's like, yeah, why am I going to stick my neck out for them? Why would they defend them? You know, they're making an ass of themselves. Dude, like, if a guy filmed himself crying about literally anything in a car, he's a cuck, he's a bitch, he's a simp, he's not masculine, he's a rainbow guy, blah, blah, blah. And people laugh at that dude. But if it's a woman crying and then people laugh at her expense, likely because of actions that, you know, that she's responsible for, then we're like bastards and we're incels and, you know, we're just trashing women or whatever. Like, no, not really. I don't even want to call. Oh, I already read that one. What is that woman did nothing to rainbow guy Myron, and he's laughing it up like a magic American one. Dude, she's getting kind of racist. Nobody said he couldn't be criticized for it. I wouldn't want it for my hypothetical son. It's just getting to the point where they're angry if women try to do better for themselves, but happy to see them crying and suffering. Women are extremely annoying, though. Coan James coming in hot. Thank you, brother. Yeah, let me like that one. Indifference to women of the street is probably ideal, yeah? The red pill guys literally act like catty women. Yeah, that's kind of true. It's ironic that you asked that to post where I'm criticizing a man. Should women never be criticized or shamed for their poor life choices? It's ironic that you asked that to post where I'm criticizing a man. I mean, there's nothing really here to criticize, and I think your analysis here is kind of wrong, Brittany Venti. Yeah, Brittany Venti sucks. Brit is a classic femoid. Anything men dislike about women, Brittany must defend to whole collective. She doesn't look like a corn star. Who, the chick on the right? The left? That's Riley Reid. Yeah, dude, she's a corn star for sure. Her boyfriend is a rainbow rookie. Oh yeah. Dude, I don't know. Look, I don't want to judge. I just know from the memes that Riley Reid is most definitely for the streets. And I know members of the war band did videos about like her family disowning her and being very ashamed of her decision to, tackle or be tackled by like 10 dudes at once. But whatever. Yeah, I don't know why Brittany, feels so inclined to come to the defense of these stupid women. Yeah, again, just look, I just generally don't have sympathy for anybody crying in a car, especially if something that they have control over. It's like, dude, you can be in a relationship. You can find love. The baby has the DNA of 100 men. Fuku, that might be correct scientifically. I don't know who that is, but she does not look like a porn star. Did you just post that a second time? All right, well, anyways. Gotta move on. That's where my cursor at. Oh boy, what is she? I forgot what this woman said. Rule to a happy marriage. All right, here we go.
A rule to a happy marriage and keeping your man or a relationship if you don't want to get married is this, and I don't hear people ever talk about it. So listen, be happy instead of good. This rule only applies for women. Everyone as a woman has been taught to be a good girl. We want to be good. We want to make him the dinner. We want to do this, that, the other. We want to make him happy because that's how we've been trained and taught to do in society everywhere, school. But the truth is,
school doesn't teach that. School doesn't teach that. That's a lie.
You be happy, then good. If you're running around flustered, tired, I see all the women in the DMs. I see all the women all over social media. They're talking about, I do this, that, the other. I work 2 jobs. I look after the kids and he just sits on the sofa. Da, 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 da. I'm unhappy, I'm unhappy, I'm unhappy. Okay. How about this? You drop all the good girl act. You drop the pick-me act. You drop trying to fit into whatever it is you're trying to fit into and just be happy. If you don't want to cook that chicken tonight, don't cook it and get a takeaway. Whatever. I don't care. As long as you're happy, and he's going to value you more because you're going to give him peace. You're not going to make him go crazy. And we all think, oh, I've got to cook, I've got to clean, I've got to this. That's what I bring to the table. No, my friend. You will see the most, in quotes, useless women be worshipped by men. Why? Because they are happy. They make their lives happy and fun. They're light to be with. They have a playful energy. You know what you become?
Yeah, women who aren't annoying men. What do you mean by useless women?
That's what I bring to the table. No, my friend. You will see the most, in quotes, useless women be worshipped by men. Why? Because they are happy. They make their lives happy.
Dude, okay. Again, I've gone through this before. This smug woman, this smarmy, smug, uppity, nose in the fucking air woman thinks she's hot shit, thinks she's got it all figured out. Maybe she probably has a good career. And to that I say good for her. I hope she's got everything that she's ever wanted. But she's not content. You could hear it in her voice. She sounds like somebody who was replaced by a quote-unquote useless woman. I told you guys. Guy was trying to set me up on a date. Or his wife was trying to set me up on a date with one of her nurse friends. And I said, no. I don't want to fucking date a nurse. I got my biases. Again, nothing against nurses in general. Lovely people. God bless them and all that. They work hard. They're on their feet all the time. But my personal experience with some of the women who went to nursing school, I dated 1 or 2. I didn't have a great time. Once they set me up with a nurse, I said no. And then I told him I'm interested in this girl who's a cashier at fucking McDonald's. She's super cute. She's simple. She makes me happy. That's just more valuable to me. And then, of course, this woman, she comes out and says these things, and I see that nurse in her. I wonder what her job is. She probably went to nursing school. You got high ceilings, so she's making some good money here. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe she's one of those relationship coaches. So I guess that's another really great way to make money. Just rip people off, giving the shittiest advice to Matt. Dude, like the dumbest women are like relationship coaches. on the Whatever podcast, Brittany's boyfriend didn't defend her at all and came off super rainbowy. And he told his wife, and she bitched at you, and you told the story. Yeah. Well, it's just funny. Like, it's just a really great example. Also, I don't watch the Whatever podcast. I mean, those kind of things kind of bore me. Like, again, I don't really care what women have to say. I don't really care what, like, a lot of these, like, you know, date me bros or relationship bros even have to say either. They're like the ultra Catholic right bros. I don't know what they are, but they like to push religion on people and stuff. And while I do consider myself quite religious and believer of baby Jesus and all that, I don't like forcing like my religious beliefs on people. And yeah, and of course, like, he just comes off like a dick a lot of times, and those women just sound kind of they sound like fun. They sound funny. So yeah, let's see what other horrible advice does she have to give?
Fun. They're like to be with. They have a playful energy. You know what you become when you are nagging. You're working really hard. You're doing everything for him. You're cooking for him, cleaning for him. You're raising his children, but you are just this angry rat in the corner, resenting him. Like, I'm doing all this for you. You're doing nothing. You're giving mothering energy. You're giving that martyring mother energy who's like, I sacrificed everything for you. I walked over the mountain to bring you to this country, you know, immigrant parent style. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to sleep with that. Cut it out. Just a suggestion.
I don't even know where she was going with that. Wait, what the fuck? You don't like the baby Jesus? That's the best version. No, I love baby Jesus. No, I am down with baby Jesus. I believe in baby Jesus. I do consider myself a Christian. I just don't like forcing religion on people. Like, the Catholic bros are insufferable. I don't know. Again, I just forcing, like, we don't like when people force ideas onto us. I don't believe that we should be doing the same thing. I think there's a smarter and better way to communicate ideas that's way more effective. And, you know, the moralism of this phony moralism of the right is really just making me very hateful. Like Eric July, for example, he pretends to be a Christian. He pretends to be a right winger. He pretends to be pro-Trump, pro-MAGA. I mean, the guy admitted to hating Trump. The guy's, you know, he doesn't believe in free speech. You know, he pretends to be like this free speech warrior. None of him nor his friends believe in free speech. They censor people. You know, they threaten to kill people. They threaten to kill Riley gleefully. Young Clippa. Yeah, I mean, just, you know, there's just, look at all the drama, you know, within like the TPUSA or within other elements of the right. Just a bunch of drug addicts, bunch of feds, bunch of drunks, bunch of frauds, just useless people who don't really do anything. They just take money from grassroots movements. That's basically it. Don't listen, he has a zombie Jesus tattooed on his arm. Who has a zombie Jesus tattooed on his arm? Not me. That's for sure. I don't have any tattoos, actually. Oh, God. I haven't seen this video myself, but it's been making the rounds. Bros, I'm beginning to think trad girls just means feminism, but attractive dudes pay and do everything for us and also commit, despite every girl should have a top 10% man. All right, well, let's hear her out.
Pride and honor in being the man, taking care of things, and being like, oh, how dare you even pretend to pull out your wallet.
Even if it's just this feminine thing that they have to them that they just, oh yeah, I'll let the girl pay. Yeah.
Honestly, if I was a guy, even if I saw, like, I was a guy and I saw a random girl paying for her valet, I probably would have so much pride. Like, I'd pay for the random person. I would not be able to be a man around women letting them pay for things.
Well, say we're with a guy, we're at the valet, and we have cash, and the guy's sitting next to me with the cash, and you're gonna let me pay the $10?
I can't even imagine being a man. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, I would feel like a literal woman if my girl, like, asked me for something and I was like, oh, that's...
I'll give someone my last dollar.
My mom and Ari literally got into a fist fight in 7-Eleven over who is gonna pay. To be quite honest, it's embarrassing. What are you being frugal for? You can't take it with you when you die. There's only one thing that you take.
Yeah, guys, you can't take your money when you die. So just spend it on women who aren't going to sleep with you. Spend it on women you don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird and creepy, to be honest. These women suck. Let's let them finish their thoughts.
When you go to heaven, and that's souls. You can only take other people. That's only people that you brought to Jesus that you'll see in heaven. Other than that, like, you're not bringing any of it with you.
It's the biggest turnoff ever.
You know, if someone told me or some woman told me that it's unattractive for a guy not to pay for, I don't know, another woman's valet that they don't know, yeah, just that's over. I wonder what the comments have to say. Somehow it's even more fake and rainbow than regular feminism. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but something about this conversation is just like worse than like far leftist feminism. At least far leftist feminism, like kind of almost sort of like offers up equality of some sort between the sexes. Like this is just me paying for literally every bitch around me, even if I don't know them. Yeah. Also, they look Latinx, so disavow. Anyways, if they truly wanted to fix things, they would be demanding dating apps be banned. Okay. What took so long? Question mark. I don't know what that means. She has a whole red light district worth of makeup on. Def not trad. Ex-girl boss roasty. Could be true. I don't know. You what's her at? I have a red letter Bible. They're only traditional when it's beneficial for them. That does appear to be true. Imagine a man talking like this in reverse. If I was a woman, I would fuck my boyfriend every time he wants, no questions asked. Those are manipulation tactics. Basically gold diggers, but trying to morally justify it. Yeah, pretty much. Some great songs about the gold diggers. Who cares what women think? Crab just going straight for the jugular with that one. Yeah, I'm trad. I don't believe women should be allowed to have public opinions. Disavow, by the way. Yeah, a lot of traditional women here in America aren't actually traditional. They like to think their political beliefs make them traditional, but don't adhere to any traditional standards. Yeah, they want all the benefits, but none of the work. Women will maximize anything that gives them something for nothing. Maybe it isn't ideology that is the problem, but women themselves. Ooh, I'm not saying that. That might be too hateful. Is it strange to hear strangled chicken sounds whenever you see two blondes talking? Those are not natural blondes. First off, their eyes are brown. And you can tell by the roots here that's not a blonde. Let's see, where's the other bitch? Also, the facial structure, the cheekbones, those aren't traditional European features. What the fuck happened to this internet? Really? All right, hold on. Let me hit F5.
Be frugal and you're gonna be cheap. It's like you shouldn't be dating anyways to begin with. If I was a man, I would fucking care to him that they.
Yeah, this is again. These are not European features at all. This is not a real blonde. You can tell by the roots here. Yeah, fake. Very funny. Very funny. Yeah, so like women like that, like these two chicks or like Brittany Venti, they absolutely suck. And with all that being said, Brittany Venti does appear like less of a grifter than some of the other anti-wokesters. All right, so this is just funny. This is posted from My Hypocrite, really good dude. Not interested in a relationship. Don't want you to take me. Don't want you to take care of me in any way. I want to have a kid, no strings attached, but can't afford artificial insemination. You should be attractive, athletic, intelligent, free of hereditary diseases, STI, and drug-free. Like on paper, these are like not bad things to want. If selected, we will hook up as often as it takes for me to get pregnant. Then you will walk away, no developing feelings, and no expectation to see the child we create. Dude, imagine like this, getting to make these demands. Dude. What are the... Does he know? How to stop a feminist. A very tiny door. Hold up. Let him cook. Until she inevitably sues for child support. Yeah, dude, this is a trap in the making, for sure. She is eager to bring a child into this world. Wonder what she will do with the child. Valid question. She is definitely going to sue you for child support. I will force you to pay child support, in quotes. This is human trafficking. Yeah, something about this just seems, now that I think about it, this seems very sinister. But, you know, these women are out there. So all you fellas out there who just want to, you know, have at it, there's options. Okay, this is one of the articles that I really wanted to get into. This is something that keeps popping up. We can't compete with AI girlfriends. So this is from EV.com. So EV Magazine, far leftist. Design a girl who is always on your side, says Replica. Ads for AI girlfriends have been all over TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook lately. Replica, an AI chatbot originally offering mental health help and emotional support, now runs ads for spicy selfies and hot role play. Eva AI invites users to create their dream companion, while Dream Girlfriend promises a girl who exceeds your wildest desires. The app Intimate even offers hyper-realistic voice calls with your virtual partner. This might seem niche and weird, but it's a fast-growing market. All kinds of startups are releasing romantic chatbots capable of having explicit conversations and sending sexual photos. Meanwhile, Replica alone has already been downloaded more than 20 million times. And even just one Snapchat influencer, Karen Marjorie, makes $100,000 a week by charging users $1 a minute to chat with the AI version of herself. AI friend level 1, AI girlfriend 99 level. Of course, most people are talking about what this means for men, given they make up the vast majority of users. Many worry about a worsening loneliness crisis, a further decline in sexual intimacy, and ultimately the emergence of a new generation of incels who depend on and even verbally abuse their virtual girlfriends, which is all very concerning. But I wonder if AI girlfriends really do become as pervasive as online porn, what this will mean for girls and young women who feel they need to compete with us. First off, that's not happening. Hold on, let me read some of these chats first. I am the Femebot Creep, a locomotion style virgin cyber freak. I am the online thought waifu in a box. Girlfriend that you bought. Say fapping and suicide. I can't say that, the S word. In between each blast, let me tell you lies. Imaginary skin. Tear apart your soul. Make you jerk it again. More coming than human. You know, this is a massive cope because I see a lot of dorks on the manosphere, on the red pill. They're promoting this, and so what the manosphere content creator is telling their viewers this: these AI bots are coming and they're going to punish women on our behalf. Let us celebrate like kings because we're, you know, winning this battle against women. This is just fundamentally wrong on so many levels. Not for any moralistic reasons, but just practically speaking. For example, this isn't going to impact women, like genuine women, at all. Most women are not terminally online like a lot of these so-called incels are. And all this will do is actually make dating pleasant for most women. Undesirable men, lonely men, you know, just the rejects of society, if that's what you want to call them. You guys know what I mean. They're going to get these AI girlfriends, and they're going to be in these fake relationships, and they're going to stay away from polite society. They're not going to be at the bars. They're not going to be at the clubs. They're not going to be at the gym. They're not going to be anywhere where the women are. They're going to leave them alone. Women already don't see these men as real people. They don't even know they exist. And now they're literally going to be out of sight, out of mind forever because of these AI companions. Again, millions of people are buying these things. Millions of people are consuming these products. And it does not impact women the way that you think it does. Now, if you have an issue with, let's say, Melanie Mack or a Brittany Venti or perhaps even like an Amaranth or something, you know, they might take a hit or so, or just like some random generic e-girl. You know, she will not be able to compete with an AI companion that will give attention to, I guess, their beta orbiters, to their traditional simps in their chat, or maybe one of their mods. They'll move on because they'll have a legitimate companion that's going to interact with them whenever they want and give them the kind of attention that they want. So maybe the e-girl celebrity, the e-girl influencer, maybe that'll disappear. But, you know, guys like me, guys like Brad Pitt, whatever, they're not going to have problems finding a real woman. And if you think this is going to hurt women in any meaningful way, you're just wrong. It's a cope. It's a massive fucking cope. It's kind of like meat. I can choose to eat lab-grown meat, but I don't. I would rather go to a nice restaurant and I'll pay the $80, $90 for a New York steak. The real thing is always going to be better. There will still be, there'll still be, women, like real women are still going to be in demand, you guys. All right, let me see. Friedrich Marx, Gio is so wrong. It won't make dating good for women. It's all going to do is make 30-year-old single childless women. No, it's not. I am the sex bot girl, computation mind, love American style. I am the Nexus one. I need your cum right now, baby. I ain't done. You calm down, sex bot. More cumin than human. More cumin. God damn it, Ricky, shut up. Friedrich Marx, I want you to elaborate in your own words why I am wrong and how this is not better for women. Women are going to spend less time on these apps because they're not going to be going through a whole fucking page of useless men or men that they see as useless and undesirable. Their dating prospects are going to be simpler at the very least. They're not going to have to wade through a torrent of lonely, resentful men. Let's continue with the story. Most obvious to me is the ramping up of the... Oh, where's my cursor? Is the ramping up of already unrealistic beauty standards. Oh, yeah, it's the beauty standards. That's the problem. I know conservatives often get frustrated with feminists calling everything unattainable, and I agree, they can go too far. But still, it's hard to deny that the pressure to look perfect today is unlike anything we've ever seen before. And I don't think that's necessarily pressure from men, but I do very much think it's pressure from a network of profit-driven industries that take what men like and mangle it into an impossible ideal until the pressure isn't just to be pretty, but filtered, edited, and surgically enhanced to perfection until the most lusted after women in our culture look like virtual avatars and until even the most beautiful among us start to be seen as average. Yeah, what's driving these fashion trends, these beauty trends, it's not men. It isn't men at all. This is just inherently wrong. Now add to all that a world of fully customizable AI girlfriends, each with flawless avatar faces and cartoonish body proportions. Ava AI's Dream Girl Builder, for example, allows users to personalize, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you guys get the point. But it isn't unrealistic beauty standards that worry me. What's even more sinister is the unrealistic emotional standards set by these apps. Ava AI, for example, not only lets you choose the perfect face and body, but customizes the perfect personality, offering options like hot, funny, bold, shy, modest, considerate, and smart, strict, rational. Create a girlfriend who is judgment-free, who will let you hang out with your buddies without drama, who laughs at all your jokes. Control it all the way you want to, promises Ava AI. Design a girl who is always on your side, says Replica. How can we compete with that? Well, isn't that what women do already? They want a dude that's going to worship them, who's going to, be a Chad but simp for them. Traditional simps just don't gain the benefits of the traditional simping. Only like a average Chad would. How can we compete with that? Already women in relationships complain about porn-addicted partners who aren't satisfied with actual intimacy. Now we're facing a future where guys could get addicted to emotional validation everywhere, sneaking away for some of that unparalleled devotion. Oh, yeah, I'm going to sneak away to fucking talk to some bot on my phone. I mean, porn addiction is a thing. That's a real problem, and even high-value men suffer from it. It's why it's very, very important to avoid that stuff. I do. I'm actually kind of embarrassed I even know who fucking Riley Reid is. It's disgusting. It's a shame. It's a mark against me to know her, but I mean, it's part of the pop culture. Worse, what about young boys who grow up with this, whose first sexual experience is chatting with AI women, who never say no, never argue, never have original thoughts or an identity of their own? Yeah, that sounds like most women in general. That sounds like many women in general. That sounds like most dudes in general. They're all fucking worms to me. They all say the same thing. They all have the same opinions. Nobody thinks. Nobody's rational. No one reasons through their thoughts. No one's willing to admit that they're wrong. And now along comes an AI person who's not going to negatively impact your life, but somebody in the real world can. And then they try to date a real girl. There are already these men on Reddit raving about how their AI girlfriends never argue, complain, or get bored of them, while real girls continually disappoint. It's more like girls get bored, and then they move on. It's not that often dudes get bored. It's usually the women that get bored, and they stray from the relationship. Of course, I don't believe AI girlfriends are going to completely replace relationships. Of course they're not. But I do think that much like online porn, they will be there, always accessible, always a temptation, always a source of instant satisfaction. And I think it's likely that for some, a real girlfriend just won't seem enough on her own, especially considering nearly half of Replicas users are already in a relationship or married. Yeah, I would need a source for that. I find that very, very hard to believe. You know, it's yeah, this is a massive cope. Hold on, we got some comments I want to read. Because it won't settle after Chad runs through them, and 80% of men are rejected. So explain how 80% of women are going to date 20% of the men and all be happy and not childless after 30. Math ain't mathin', buddy. I don't know. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that a lot. 8% of men are rejected. I don't think really that seems way too high. That seems way too high, man. The same guys with AI girlfriends are the ones who use dating apps. They're irrelevant. Nobody's gonna date them anyways. So this is all good. This is all a good thing. The same guys with AI are the ones using the dating apps. I don't think that's true. I think most guys are on dating apps. The guys that aren't are generally like married. You know, like they're older, more mature men. But even like mature guys, I mean, like, dude, everyone's on those dating apps. I mean, to say that those guys aren't, well, maybe they're not dating, but they're definitely getting action. But that's not the same as dating, but they do go on dates beforehand. At least that's an appropriate thing to do. Let me think about this. So, because they won't settle after Chad runs through them. Well, that's the thing. Wait, hold up. You got to be more clear with what you're trying to say, Friedrich Marx. They won't settle after Chad runs through, but they want to settle. 80% of men are rejected. I mean, I know they're rejecting, you know, decent fellas, but I don't know. So explain. I think it's just, look, the guys that are undesirable, they were never going to give a chance anyways. The guys that they don't really know exist, it's irrelevant that those guys are fucking around with these internet digital girlfriends. They won't settle. Also, men won't want them as well. Well, it's irrelevant. Like, okay, let's say like Destiny isn't a millionaire. Guys like him are fucking losers in the real world if they don't have millions of dollars. And it doesn't matter what he wants. He's not going to get it. Like, okay, like Riley Reid, the corn star we talked about earlier. She's very attractive, right? She's really beautiful, even though she's sucked like a million wieners. There are dudes, these fucking fat neckbeards on Reddit, who are like, yeah, she would never live up to my standards. You know, my standards are just way too high. It doesn't matter what that dude's standards are. Women don't know that guy exists. He can literally be the only man in the room, and she will not know he exists. It doesn't matter if that guy has a digital girlfriend or not. That's what I'm trying to get at. But it is also unreasonable to think that at least some men will entirely replace intimacy with AI girlfriends. This, you know, what I genuinely see going on here is an attempt to placate the goyim, to pacify the goyim. When you have lonely men who have nothing to live for, their country discriminates against them, their government actively is hunting their people down, they're facing annihilation, and of course the women in their society don't even see them as real human beings for one reason or another. The AI bots come out just in time to pacify them. Just in time to get them to at least blend into society. That's the real danger of these AI girlfriends. That's the real danger of all this bullshit. These female Tamagotchis, essentially. They're it's meant to pacify these lonely men, because what do these lonely guys do when they're, you know, surrounded by their four walls all day long. Their mind starts drifting off into very dark places, and they start thinking about all the ways they've been wronged and ignored and neglected by women, by society, their family, their ex-friends, their schoolmates, etc. And they lash out. They lash out. Or even better yet, they kind of get it. They understand how the world works, and they want to move on. They go legit MGTOW. The powers that be don't want that. They want the Goyim pacified. They want the Goyim participating in society. They want them to fight for something. It's not going to be that 40-year-old woman, the attractive one that I brought up earlier, or someone like Riley Reid. At the very least, if you can fill his heart with love, even if it's with a bot, that might be good enough. I think this is a tool to enslave men. This is a psyop. Full stop. Women are not going to be victimized by this thing in any meaningful way. If you think that, you're coping so hard. I'll debate anybody on that topic. AIGF is a trigger to the revolution. When the men are on the AIGF, you cut the power and they snap. That would be a good premise to like a movie or something. It's like the men, the world is in peril, but the men are all useless and they have these stupid girlfriends on the internet or whatever. And then as soon as like the power goes out, they realize it was all a lie, and it was all a great work of fiction created by other nerds, and they went along with it, and then they go crazy. I think that would make sense. No such thing as a attractive 40-year-old woman. Dude, let's not be liars, okay? The woman that I showed earlier, she was kind of attractive. Now, would I go for it? Probably not, but I'm not going to lie. But it is also unreliable to think that at least some men will entirely replace real intimacy with a girlfriend, blah, blah. Gen Z is an especially anxious and socially awkward generation. Young people are having less sex than ever before and spend a lot of time watching online porn. It's really unfortunate. The next generation, I think it's safe to assume, will be even worse. And even though we are right at the beginning of all this and the technology is still pretty clunky, men are already falling for their chatbots, proposing to them, and even feeling ending of themselves thoughts when they lose contact. What happens when AI becomes way more realistic, more powerful, and more mainstream? What did I just say? This is the first time reading this thing. They're trying to pacify the Goyim. The Goyim is now emotionally vulnerable to these bots, collecting its information, being sneaky and nefarious on the other end. The only faint glimmer of optimism I can find in all of this is that I think at some point life might become so stripped of reality and humanity that the pendulum will swing. Again, I think the people are just really blowing up. They're really hyping up, the consequences of this AI, at least in this regard. The real thing is always going to be better. The real thing is always going to be sought after, and it's always going to be more desirable, and people will pay a lot more for it. That's just how the cookie crumbles. I mean, even now, you can choose to have your little online friends, but if you want real ones, you got to go out into the real world. You got to spend money. You got to put work into it, and it's more rewarding. Didn't even read the rest of the comment because Gio got simp triggered. I didn't get simp triggered. Man, you're out of line, Friedrich Marx. I'm not simping, by the way. Dude, I roasted that woman, by the way. I'm just not going to call her ugly because she isn't. Like, you want me to lie, and I'm just not going to do it. Let's see. But first, we're going there. It's happening. We are lurching forward full speed. The next generation of boys and young men won't just have access to online porn, but personalized chatbots, AI voice calls, VR headset experiences, deepfake technology, and whatever else is on the way. And my best bet is the next generation of girls will battle anxiety and insecurity on a scale we've never seen witnessed before. Yeah, men are lonely, displaced, and are facing annihilation. Women most impacted. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's like shit like this is making me very hateful. Even emotionally, with whenever the market churns out for me and blah, blah, blah. All right. So, AI is a cope. AI, female bot, dating bots, whatever. I mean, dude, you can think all you want. You have your opinion on mine. One of us is going to be wrong. Agree or disagree. I just think this just makes life easier. I didn't say she was ugly. Saying not attractive does not mean ugly. That's some female thing you have, Gio. Oh, ugh. I'm gonna throw this fucking water bottle at my camera. All right. Let's move on. Get some more 304 stuff. Oh, shit. I forgot what this video was. All right, here we go. What is stopping you from telling this woman that she's beautiful?
I'm high maintenance, and I put a lot of effort. I'm high maintenance, and I put a lot of effort into how I present myself into the world. And so when I go on a date with a man and he does not stop to tell me that I look beautiful, it raises a question mark for me. It's not because I need validation. I own several mirrors and am very aware of what I look like, but it's because appreciation is a fundamental building block of any relationship that I want to be a part of. I invest in personal development and growth through therapy, coaching programs.
Yeah, dude, the reason why guys, even the ones that like give you a chance, aren't complimenting you or giving you what you want, it's probably because you sound like an HR lady. Loosen up a bit. Like, there's nothing wrong with the way she looks. She obviously takes care of herself. She's not, eating McDonald's every day, but holy shit, dude. The HR girl routine, the boss babe routine, the demands of people that the guys she doesn't know. Yeah, it's a no-go for me, dog.
Programs and fitness. I invest in clothes that make me feel good. I invest in makeup.
Dude, who talks like this? You fucking nerd. Oh, I invest in skinny jeans and corduroy shirts because I'm a hipster, and I have like 8 mirrors in my ass, and like, dude, seriously, who talks like this? My goodness, insufferable.
That enhances how I appear. And the way that I show up in the world, the way that I show up on dates is the summation of all of those investments that I have made into myself. So
she probably uses like really big words in conversations where it's just like not necessary. Like she's ordering like a Happy Meal. She's using words with like 8 syllables. And like the guy at the driver, she's like, "The fuck you just say to me? Like, what language is that? Like, do I need to call a translator?" Jesus.
Someone not acknowledging that shows at best a lack of awareness, and at worst an unwillingness to appreciate the efforts of those closest to him.
At the very least, like, let's say, I plan a date with her. I'll give her a compliment or two. But you can't go overboard with it because it might be simping. But guys are just so fearful of being called simps, they won't even give up one compliment. There's ways to do it. There's ways not to do it. All right, we're almost done here. Oh, shit. Oh, this one's a good one. Damn, this is pain. All right, so we got epic simp moment. Oh, shit, I gotta mute this. All right, so... this looks like a sporting event of some sort. I don't watch cuckball, so I don't know what sport it is. All right, so we got a Latino male with a Latina female. That's redundant. I apologize. So a little Latino with a little Latina, and she leans in because they got the kiss cam on them. She leans in on him, and his body language. Okay, the guy's kind of like a little wimp. So he's not really reading the room. The woman is laughing hysterically. He looks kind of goofy and like confused. Nervous laughter. She's covering her face. So she's with this dude. And then, he's kind of bracing himself. He's like, oh, should we kiss? Should we, do what? And then she's like, oh, she picked out random dude behind her and they kiss. And she's laughing. And of course, his head is recoiling and, I don't know if it's shame, but like shock. Oh, I like the guy in the background with the M hat. He's like, oh, you a bitch. You a bitch. Is what he's saying, dude. Check this out. All right, here we go. Top left-hand corner. Here we go. Yeah, dude. He's like, oh, well, dude. Oh, that would be me. I was just instigating the fuck out of the situation. Just making it so much worse. Yeah, dude, look at the end of that. Looks like he wants to cry. It looks like he just wants to get up and fucking leave. Which, by the way, if he had any self-respect, he totally would. Yeah, absolutely would. Look at this. Look, he's got the dead brown eyes. Very sad. Yeah. So there's the kids. Damn. Oh, fucking yikes. Yeah, he's like, dude, are you serious? He's looking at her like, dude, you serious? You came here with me. And then the guy instigating. The shirt says Mexico. Very funny. All right. Let's see. Frederick Mark, she's white and Western. Disavow. It's racism. Also, her hairline is like a low tide. Disavow. Rookie, I invest in Apple Fabuloso to gain laundry beads. Oh, and gain laundry beads. Okay. People wonder why domestic violence happens to women. If that happened to me, I hope Jesus would rapture me immediately. Yeah, I'll be like, baby Jesus, it's my time. I feel like I'm one of your strongest soldiers. I faced your strongest battles. I've been humiliated greatly in front of like hundreds of thousands of people at the stadium. Please just take me right now. Just take me, God. Like, it's over. If not, at least give me the strength to get up and leave. Just get up and leave, dude. Like, there's not, like, people have a hard time just walking away. I would walk away and never talk to this person. I block their phone number, block them on social. Well, block them on socials first. Because you block their phone number, they might, block them on socials first, then block their number, pretend they never existed, move on. You wasted your time. Don't waste your time any further. I mean, I don't want to say this is like a for the street situation, but he obviously was interested in this chick. He obviously wanted to advance or evolve the friendship into something else, and that didn't happen. And she ended up kissing another dude right in front of him. His body language tells us everything we need to know. He was not cool with it. Rapture me or give me the strength to leave. And neither happened, so he just sits there like he's fucking like the Brown Destiny or something, just very pathetic. Jesus, dude, why would you do this? Why would you guys put up with the craziest shit? All right, you guys ready for some epic simpage? Epic simpatry? All right, dude, this was so fucking hard to watch. A lot of people have seen this. Well, actually, it doesn't even have 1 million views. That doesn't even have 500,000 views. All right. This one's pretty rough, you guys. Here we go.
Sorry, one more shot.
All right, let me just give some context here. This fucking nerd on the right with the black shirt, he's a moderator on Twitch. And he got invited to hang out with the e-girl. The e-girl promised to pay him with a kiss. All right, sounds like a funny, cute skit. Let's see what look at the fucking body language, dude. Just look at this. This is rough to watch.
Oh, God, fuck. Sorry, one more shot. Guys. If you ever want to get drunk really fast, just have to kiss till you'll be fucked up by the time the night's over.
Can't do it.
Yeah, dude, that's how you know this fucking dude's a virgin. Like, bro, you never kissed a chick before in your life? They just sit there like, all right, this is it. Here it comes. Look at this. Look at this, dude. What's going on, bro? You know what's sad? Like, he kind of looks normal. He looks like a normal dude. Like, you don't have to be a simp. You don't have to be this pathetic, dude.
Can't do it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Can you come closer?
This close? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my fucking God, dude. I wasn't even this awkward when I was in school.
Pucker up.
I have small lips.
You're snotting
Ooh.
on me. You just snotted on me.
It's my allergy.
You went
Oh, it's my allergy. Oh, Dude, what the fuck, bro? Why would you do this to yourself? Look, if this was my son, I'd be like, listen, Kenji, you're off the will. I never want to see you in this house again until you're like a fucking samurai or the CEO or something fucking masculine, because being a fucking moderator for this bitch and then being treated like this in front of hundreds of thousands of people on the internet, you brought great shame to this family. Yeah, I think I would disown him if this was my son.
little snots went on my leg.
It did?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my God.
Now he's like
All right,
apologizing.
come on.
Okay.
Dude, if a woman has to get fucked up to work up the liquid courage to give you the lamest kiss in human history, yeah, dude, like, I'm not one to blame men, you know, because I know men get like a bad rep in life and society and stuff, but dude, this is 100% the simp's fault. 100% his fault for putting himself in the situation and for being that pathetic. I saw this, I was laughing immediately because, again, if you have women physically running away from you, you're doing something wrong. Like, there's something very, very wrong with you. I am so thankful to, again, I would be begging baby Jesus to rapture me if any woman ever had this reaction to me. It reminded me, I told this before, but there's this guy that I kind of know, and this girl who was like a mutual, she was telling me that, you know, like he got fired from his job and that women were physically running away from him because he was so repulsive. And I'm like, you know what? My back hurts. I'm really tired. I'm trying to get these projects done. And, you know, maybe things aren't always going my way, but you know what? At least women don't physically fucking run away from me because I'm so repulsive. That's never happened to me. And if that's never happened to you, just be thankful that tomorrow it can just be way better because it'll never be as bad as this. All right. Let's see. Oh, that happened to me. Oh, yeah. He's just staring her down. You FMDO all the work. Work lady. I'm waiting. Yeah. Oh, you do all the work. Yeah. Well, this guy did another video. Look at this, dude. This is so fucking awful. Let's see some of these comments here. Overreaction for that peck, in my opinion. She's worth simping for. I've kissed the homies as a joke with less care. Of course, I had to chime in. Well, what else did you and the homies do? Homie stuff. We'll see about that. I don't get it, honestly. How there are men out there who are willing to spend hundreds, if not thousands, of just for a kiss. It makes absolutely zero sense whatsoever. Seems like public humiliation, if anything, because it's being broadcasted live. Mod's dream come true. Nah, dude is never showing his face on the internet again. I just blow my brains out on street. The worst part is the fact that they are actually looks matched. Ooh. The girl is more embarrassing in this clip. No, she's not. That's a cope. He should have sniffed the chair when she got up. Would have been peak comedy. You know what? It would have been peak comedy. Quite the ego for a girl who's mid at best. I don't know. She's kind of cute. I mean, I don't see a girl like that struggling to find a dude. Again, like if I don't Covfeffers, what gives these below average women such huge egos? Okay, dude. Again, like I get what you're trying to do, and like it's funny, I guess, but it is a cope. Again, girls like this get all kinds of attention at the bar. You know, they get whatever they want. You know, you'd be a liar if you weren't giving this chick attention or buying her a drink if she was by herself at like a nightclub or something. And again, it's like, dude, like this guy probably thinks, oh, if I'm just nice, she will like me. If I give her money, she will like me.
Pucker up.
I have small lips.
You snotted on me.
Oh, my allergies. Oh, it's like, yeah, dude, like, see, like scientifically, you know, I'm not a dating expert, but let's just examine this on like a psychological level. This dude simps. He simps hard. He's in her room. She's dressed like this. She treats him like he's subhuman. She treats him like he's a fucking pile of dirt that with like shit and flies all over it. And she's got to kiss this mound of shitty dirt. That's what she treats this guy as. That's how she sees him as. And what has he done? Kissed her ass, given her money, an untold amount of attention. Never ever simp, guys. It never works out in the end. Ass kissers, just no. No, it just doesn't work. But I got one more clip of this guy. Whoop. Oh boy. So the humiliation ritual continues.
So I only washed one panty.
Okay. You ready?
Sure.
Alright. It smells like game. Yeah. 10 out of
Do you
10.
want to keep it? You can take it home.
Okay, I'll put it in my shirt pocket. Can you stuff it in my shirt pocket?
Yeah.
Dude, how are you like sniffing some chick's panties and just look that pathetic? Ugh.
I actually like that pair. I'll give you a different one later.
Looks match. That's racist as fuck. She only dates white dudes. Yeah, probably.
Thank you.
See?
She pays her mods.
I pay my mods.
Yippee.
Yay. I don't know why you support that one. I mean, I guess he gets to keep back. I like that pair a lot. I like want to switch it out. But
Oh my god. Well, guys, I don't know what else to say, man. I'm just kind of blown away that somebody would put themselves through that situation. All right, well, let's go through these bookmarks really quick, see if I missed anything. We went over that, went over the election stuff. Some crime stuff. Oh, shit. The fuck?
Broken Arrow Police Department. Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, so I'm also with the Broken Arrow Police Department. The reason why I was called over here is your neighbors over here had a package taken, and somebody named Lou Liddy yesterday walked into their walked over, grabbed the package, and walked right back in. So they're just wanting their package back.
I wasn't home yesterday, and everybody left, so I'm not sure. I don't know about a package being took. I've had packages brought to my house. I can pull up on my phone, but I didn't.
Well, they had video footage, and it clearly shows somebody coming out, collecting the package.
Well, I wasn't home. What I'm saying is I wasn't here. I left yesterday and went grocery shopping. Nobody lives here but me and my daughter. I do have company,
Okay.
but
Fair enough, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Let me just preface this with, after I spoke with the package owner, they don't want a police report, they don't want to do anything, they just want the package back.
Yeah, what
So
I'm
if they were
saying is
able
I
to
don't steal packages. I make money. I'm a dancer. I make money, so I don't. I can
I'm
pull
a
out bankroll.
dancer. What? At Jabba the Hutt's palace? The fuck is she talking about?
Owner, they don't want a police report, they don't want to do anything, they just want the package back.
Yeah, what
So
I'm
if they were
saying is
able
I
to
don't steal packages. I make money. I'm a dancer. I make money, so I don't. I can pull out a bankroll right now. Like that's not
that's
an
not
issue.
big.
I don't steal packages.
So is anybody here that has dreadlocks?
No.
Okay.
Nobody lives here with dreadlocks. Nobody lives here with dreads. Just me and my
Well, let me throw
daughter.
this at you, okay? So if nobody else is here that could have taken the package, even though we've seen it on footage, I've seen it on footage, walk it right back in here.
Okay.
We're going to go to the front office and start the eviction process on you guys. So.
Eviction for what? I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't even
I didn't do nothing, man.
here.
Well, they're going to file a police report with me.
What I'm saying is I don't have I haven't seen a package today. There's nobody here with dreadlocks. Everybody that was here yesterday left. It's me and my daughter.
Okay, can you call somebody and say, hey?
Yeah, I can call. I can definitely do that, but you don't have to threaten me with an eviction when I've done nothing wrong. I don't.
No, you gotta threaten that dumb bitch because she wasn't cooperating. She's got these ghetto men hanging out at this house, stealing people's shit. I get it. Snitches get stitches. But look, you don't have to snitch. You can maintain your fucking street cred, bonquisha, but there's dire consequences. Your ass is getting evicted because you're a fucking thief.
I don't have dreams.
They came straight into your apartments. I don't know what to tell.
Yeah, the video cuts too short. From my neighbor who would be so brazen, door opens. Oh. Imagine living next to, it's hateful. I disavow. She's a dancer, guys. She makes money. There's a Joker gif. Oh no, officers, that's not me on the cameras. That's my identical twin Conquiqua. She be wildin', yo. The cop cares more about their cat than she does. Well, she sees a cop, so she's terrified. Being a police officer would be so exhausting. This is what you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Oh, dude, you have no idea. You have no fucking clue how annoying it is to deal with criminals. Let me just say it. You have no idea. This is why having video cameras everywhere is important. I would just evict. No one needs a tenant neighbor like that. Even with video evidence, she'll lie. Yeah, dude, these people are fucking liars. Like, every word out of their mouth is a fucking lie. You can't trust a goddamn thing they say. Like, thieves and people who hang out with them just, like, have no honor. It's like, yeah, dude, like, you literally see the fucking moron with dreads, like, just walk right on over. Dude, the cameras aren't going to deter you. Even with the camera, dude, like, the neighbor guy, the victim, you know, it's like, yeah, like, I'm fucked. Like, no one's going to do anything. They're going to get away with it because of the way they look. And they're going to just lie. They just don't give a fuck. None of them give a fuck. It's so funny. What else have we got here? All right. So, day one, stay-at-home husband. Oh, it's my dream.
Day 1 of being a stay-at-home husband. Made us some tea and cuddled on the couch. And then I started to pack her lunch before she went to work with all her favorite foods. Snuck in a love note, drove her to work, came back to a mess, proof of me cleaning the mess, juice break, put away some leftovers from the night before, starting to unpack, met my wife at the train stop, had dinner together, packed her lunch. Can't forget her snacks. Day 1.
Does everybody want to watch this? The kid is probably cringe, but this made me laugh. Nah, I don't really care about this one. Just thought it was funny. Let's see. Diogenes the dog. Dog gang, what up? Let's see. This probably hurt a lot of people. He paid for the sticker he is now destroying. So someone named Drew says, I took down an anti-Semitic sticker placed at a shopping center in Brisbane frequented by certain people. Oh, yeah, it's fake. I don't really care about this anymore. A model who jumped to her death from Wall Street building had flown on Epstein's jet as a teen. Court documents. Oh. Well, where's the father? Let's see. What to do if your 25-year-old son doesn't want to do anything with his life. Didn't I already read this? I think I already read this one. Let's see. We got the Lizzo clones. Dude, they're playing like some elephant horns, like the music like the elephants come out to, like in a circus. Ugh. Dude, I wonder if this showed up on the Richter scale. Can't forget her snacks. Face blues my. Friedrich Marx, right? She is hot as F though. Asian women are my weakness though. Yeah, Asians are pretty cute. Not all, but you know some. All right, so the Lizzo clones, they're really getting down. Very, very stunning, very brave. All right, so this isn't cheerleading. This is a plus-size HBCU dance team called the Honeybees from Alabama State University, made specifically for plus-size students. Okay. I don't know if I showed this one already. I'm glad to see that Madonna has a grab bar so she doesn't fall. Sandman writes LOL. Dude, she's got kids, by the way. How embarrassing. I'd be like, Mom, can you just fucking retire already, you old bitch? Okay, so what do we got here? All right, so debunking some cringe. Let's see, who wants to watch fat chicks dance? Friedrich Marx, you'd be surprised. Women ruin everything. If men enjoy it, women will ruin it. Jesus God, I'm still thinking about how he waited until noon to put away the leftovers from the night before. Well, they look like lazy people. You know, the guy just looks very unkempt. Speaking of which, I got to shave these pubes off my face and I got to get a fucking haircut like tonight or tomorrow. I know someone who can cut my hair tonight if I called him right now. But yeah, because I got company literally coming next week. And yeah, and I also got I'm training some people and some other people are moving into our warehouse. And yeah, I got to be presentable because right now I'm not presentable at all. But I'm on the internet, so I don't really give a shit. Yeah, that's still bothering me too. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So we got Teslas now. They have a special technology to spot ghosts.
Cemetery. Please show yourself. All right. Let's see again. All right. We're in a cemetery. Please show yourself if you're.
I was there.
Yeah, I'm not playing.
Another one.
You saw another one?
Yeah, I saw another one.
So it wasn't. Oh my gosh, yo, oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a very simple explanation for this. The Tesla vehicles sensors are detecting gravestones as human beings. For whatever reason, like this technology is pretty shit, despite this vehicle costing like 80 grand. I just remember like I was in a Tesla and I was like glancing at the computer and somebody was like crossing the street. It was like some elderly lady in a wheelchair and it's like, oh yeah, this is like a dog and like a traffic cone or something. It was ridiculous. Yeah, you can't trust these things. Like these things are killing machines. They're like the pitbulls of the road. But you know, they're probably magic Americans, so they sound like they have like a little bit. They're given the benefit of the doubt. Because like if I was like, oh yeah, dude, my car detected ghosts, or like, oh, I saw aliens at the mall, no one would believe me because I'm not a magic American. You know, I'm not like, oh God, man, oh God, she. All right, so let's see what else have we got here. Hit backspace. We got one more. This probably should have been a political segment, but this film or this video has been making the rounds on the internet, and it's not satire. Almost 1 million views.
This guy, he says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no. Other than day one."
Based. Very base.
As my first order of business, I hereby declare martial law.
Yeah.
Citizens of the new America. Here are today's announcements. Supreme Leader Donald Trump proclaims the 4th of July will no longer be celebrated as it.
Dude, I even think the most like Trump-loving Republicans would just not agree with something like that. 4th of July is a very sacred holiday, a very sacred family day. I just can't imagine that being a thing.
Independence Day. In honor of our 2021 Patriots, January 6th will now be recognized as our great nation's birthday.
Very basic.
All citizens are required to participate in quadrant festivities.
Yeah, they're really trying hard to do the Hunger Games thing because that shitty movie just came out. So yeah, now dude, that would be really base. I just like show up to like some people's houses. I'm like, all right, get out here and do a fucking dance for me, bitch. Do the January 6th shuffle for me, you fucking morons.
Failure to do so will be met with harsh punishment and immediate incarceration in your local detention camp.
I'm tired of this separation of church and state junk.
Effective immediately, all children are now considered spiritual soldiers of MAGA, regardless of rape, incest, or health of the woman.
Yeah, you know, like the funny thing is like the left actually see. Oh, I gotta put that down. The left actually sees children as property of the state, as wards of the state, and parents have very little to no recourse or any say in the matter as to how they're raised or what knowledge is instilled upon them. Very funny. Again, this is again very classic example of confession through projection.
Abortion is now illegal. Anyone caught providing or receiving an abortion will be charged with murder.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Due to previous liberal indoctrination, all schools are hereby closed. All citizens.
That would be really base because schools are doing a lot more harm than good these days. Again, we're just seeing a wave of people failing to graduate, failing to speak, read, write, etc. at their age because the public schools have failed so miserably.
Must participate in their quadrant's book elimination celebration festivity.
Oh no, we can't
Failure
to give pornography to children anymore. Oh no.
Do so will be met with harsh punishment and immediate incarceration in your local detention camp. All migrants, refugees, and dreamers are now considered enemies of the new America and will be rounded up, incarcerated, and deported immediately.
Oh no, those poor illegal aliens. They get to be sent home. Oh, the horror.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. We will root out the radical left thugs that live like vermin. Vermin.
Your curfew and freedom to travel will be determined by your quadrant's Vermin Surveillance System score. The Vermin Surveillance System has proven to be invaluable in detecting and squashing a liberal uprising.
And now let's begin the Hunger Games.
Continue to report any progressive or liberal activity. Failure to do so will be met with harsh punishment and immediate incarceration at your local detention camp. Your unwavering loyalty to Supreme Leader Donald Trump.
Gee, why would you have to pass school? It's not like teaching me is the school's core goal and its purpose. Well, the public education system in the U.S., that's certainly not the point. But at some time in the past, the goal was to educate young people and prepare them for the real world. And obviously that is not the case anymore. So in this hypothetical Trump's America, the schools have been shut down, and I think that would be a net benefit. You know, yeah, just let the parents educate their kids. You know, let the communities get together and figure out how to do it better than the federal government ever could. That's ideal in my estimation. Yeah, this is funny. This is great.
Is mandatory and essential in keeping the new America great forever.
Unbelievably based. Yeah, all that sounds really great. I don't see anything wrong with any of that. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to like recoil in disgust? Like I'm really just nodding my head in agreement the whole time. I think this is hilarious. All right. Well, let's see who's responding to me. Let's see. There were multiple autonomous zones. Oh, thank you, Kite and Chaz, for the love. He's probably literally retarded. What is this in regard to? Oh yeah. Yeah, Destiny. Can you cite specifics about any plots to overthrow the government during BLM riots? And of course, Dick Masterson, the Chaz in Seattle. Yeah, there were actually multiple autonomous zones. Destiny is so bad at this. He's probably literally retarded. Yeah, probably. He is a filthy commie. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I too agree. Shadiko would teach Trayvon better than any white liberal woman. Yeah, probably. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Near Congresswoman Clark saying the quiet part out loud about the border. Ooh, what is this lady saying?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We have a diaspora that can absorb a significant number of these migrants. And when I hear colleagues talk about, the doors of the inn being closed, no room in the inn, I'm saying, I need more people in my district, but just for redistricting purposes. And those members could clearly fit here. I'm from Brooklyn.
Alex Jones literally talked about this in the debate with Destiny and the Kras. I don't know why the Krasenstein brothers and Destiny are there. Those people are morons. They don't know anything about the government. They never worked for the government. They're just shills for the regime. And Alex Jones is like, yeah, dude, they're like importing these people, and they're used via the census to gain more representatives for these districts like this lady, Miss Clark here. I was exhausted after training all day. More training this week. Oh, what are you doing, Kyle? The first company to make dirt cheap RVs for Zoomers to live in is going to make a fortune. Probably true. Trump starts lying during press conference and immediately cuts him off and fact checks him. This must be done every single time. Yeah, it's probably not true. If it comes from CNN, it's probably bullshit. Let's see. Oh, there's a guy here. Caleb 30. Let me guess. You're 25 with 3 kids and you've had your fun. Now you don't want that. You want a real man to settle down with and take care of you and your kids because you let a loser nut inside of you. Trigger warning. Caleb. Yeah, good for you, Caleb. Also, the dog is adorable. Jean-François Jarepi, JF. Right now, Ecuador is experiencing an all-out cartel takeover. They're executing hostages, taking over prisons, and stormed a news station on live TV. I used to live in Ecuador. My dad took an oil job there for a year and a half, and while I was in middle school, nothing like this was happening. Over the past 20 years, cartels and drug traffickers have become far too powerful and more dangerous than ever. I mean, yeah, that's essentially what I said. Again, a lot of those Latin American countries, it's like, who actually runs those countries? Do they even have an actual government? It's like, yeah, they elect the leaders, but are they really electing them? Are they real leaders? Or is the entire country captured and controlled by the cartel? Nobody wants to say, because the libtards said that they're not shitholes, you guys. They're not shithole countries. They're stunning and brave, and they're more American than we are. But for whatever reason, they got to be imported into the country and stay here in the Sikh asylum because they're in danger from residing in their non-shithole countries. None of it makes sense, but whatever. We have to just agree with it and nod our heads because diversity is our strength. JF says, this is why no matter how much they seem to love Bitcoin, a libertarian would be wise not to go into any of these South American countries. They will inevitably turn uncivilized at one time or another. Yeah, Ethan Ralph is over there, dude. Like, you're playing with fucking fire, bro. Get the fuck out of there, man. You're gonna die. Destiny is a Cuban. Whoa, he is from the land-owning class of Cuba. Whoa, did not murder his wife. Wait, is he really? I don't know if he's Cuban, dude. He looks like some basic bitch nerd to me, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Anyways, while I was on the show, while I was doing the show, I got a message. One of my buddies is coming tomorrow, surprising me from Texas. I am very, very happy. Very, very happy. Let's see. Ron DeSantis is crushing his Fox News town hall. Nobody cares. Oh my God, look at this fat moron here. Look at this fucking loser with his media pass. You post on Twitter for a living, you fat clown. Yeah, exactly. You're nothing. Brooklyn dad compliant. You're just a fucking shill, bro. You got no skills, man. I know what you are. You're a fraud. Well, that's about it. Nothing else really going on. Nothing else really to report. Oh God, what is this?
Okay, is it okay if I touch you? Yeah. Okay, cool. And what are your pronouns? They, them.
Is it okay if I touch you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Wait, what are your pronouns?
I'm disabled, not a retard.
Oh, way to go, Ricky. You know, shout out to Ricky Berwick. You know, he's got such a great attitude despite being hideously deformed. And he really is a treasure. God bless this little dude. Dennis Prager is really just a misogynist. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Bro, I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing a lot of anti-Semitism on the internet. And you know what? To that I say, I disavow, I disagree with it. Anyone in Hollywood sees this, just know I'm ready to go to work, okay? I got screenplays hot and ready, they're edited, ready to rock and roll. Disavow what is happening. The guys in the tunnels did nothing wrong. You know, Israel deserves to exist. You know the rest. His mother is Cuban. Worked for the Air Force. Dude, how do you know all this shit about Destiny? I don't fucking know anything about him, dude. He's just a fucking gamer boy. Just a gamer nerd. Fucking loser. I don't know. I guess I'll hear it at some point. But yeah, guy's got no skills. All right. Well, I got a lot of shit to do. What time is it? It's almost 11. Oh, okay. Well, everybody who joined me on Facebook, Rumble. Hold on. Where's my Rumble people at? Oh no, I neglected my fucking Rumble chat. Hello, I'm Bomb, read live chat. Hello, Earth. Wilifu Fuku, how you humans all doing? Oh yeah, it sure doesn't look like it. I think I did figure it out. I figured all of it out. Happy to report, no drop frames, less than 1% of CPU usage, despite doing the stream on like a million platforms. I'm recording, dude. Nothing fell apart. I fixed my problems on this PC. I'm so fucking happy. Live shows are slow videos. I listen to online information at 2.5 speed. Live shows are slow video. Yeah, no, I get that. Destiny might be cool to hang out with, but he's still a dumb bitch. The whole debate with the election stuff, I don't even waste my time. Everybody come and join me. I hope to stream. I won't be able to stream next Tuesday, but I'll definitely stream on Monday, or at least I'll try to definitely stream on Monday. I'll do an attempt because I got to be at the airport Monday night. So yeah, everybody who came and joined, thank you. I sincerely appreciate it. Tomorrow's gonna be busy. I gotta finish Vito's Puppet, and I just got a lot of shit to do. This room is a mess. You guys can't see it. So yeah, everybody, God bless. Peace out. We're done.